favor. This is one more, please.
Welcome to Otra, por favor.
Otra, por favor.
Episode 49. We're here from Hyperware Studios. On this podcast, we discuss football, life, and everything that makes our culture. We're happy to have y'all join us, and today we have some very, very special guests that you may be familiar with. Hernan Gonzalez and Bryan Saldana of Top Flight, and we are Austin TV. Welcome, guys.
Man, welcome, guys. You guys want to introduce yourselves?
What's up? I'm Hernan. A lot of people call me H. You might see me outside of Q2 Stadium. I do the fan reactions, interviews, whatever you want to call them. We also do the Top Flight Podcast. And this is my boy B. What's up, B?
Hey, my name is Brian. Yeah, man, H is outside. I'm on the camera, getting the fan reactions. I do a lot of the editing and the producing of the Top Flight Podcast as well.
That's badass, man. I admire y'all's work, first of all. I was just looking whenever we started, like I was like, man, who's also doing something similar? And I saw y'all's video, like the first episode, and you guys had gone to to where did we play? In L.A.
L.A. and then
LA.
to Colorado.
And then
In Colorado. Yeah, and you guys were talking about it, like, oh, that's badass. And then you guys started doing something that I really liked, which is the fan reactions after the games, and like, god damn, like. These guys are gonna do pretty good. I can just see it. And then we hit up each other a couple of times, online. And then after that, after almost over a year, we guys are here, and we want to talk about like you guys and get to know you guys more, and also talk about everything behind the scenes and what makes Top Flight a pretty badass. Top Flight World to be a pretty badass platforms for the people. Yeah. So.
For sure. What put me on you guys was my brother-in-law, Alexis Fernandez. He's a big fan of your pod. And
Shout out Alexis.
Shout out Alexis. And it's funny because all he does is listen to podcasts. So he's like hundreds, and he's like these boys on Top Flight. They're very fun, very entertaining. And I started listening to y'all, and I believe one of the first episodes I listened to, it was awesome. The passion that you guys give, the banter, it just felt like I was back with my boys in the 6th, 7th, 8th grade, the boys that I grew up playing with, like talking about what I love. And that's what I love about you guys too. And one thing I appreciated that I grew to appreciate has been the different outlooks, because you're fans of different teams and fans of teams that are direct rivals to the fans I'm team with.
Yeah.
But it's a good thing, man, because it's not just an echo chamber, right? I'm not just listening to people that like the exact same things I do. So I appreciate what y'all do, and I'm happy to have y'all on.
Yeah, and that's actually badass, because what you just explained, our podcast, it's literally what we want the fans to when they want to listen to us, is what we want to give out. We want to, like you said, you felt like you were back with your boys, back in high school talking shit or talking about. That's the kind of environment, the vibe that we want to put out. We don't want to like, we're informational. We do talk facts, but we like to bring out that feeling, that emotion, of supporting our clubs in Europe and also Austin FC. So that's awesome to hear.
Man, this is the emotion, dude. I've seen it, and there's a couple episodes, and I'm like, man,
I was like, y'all got security in that show or what?
It's gotten close sometimes, bro.
It's pretty heated sometimes, bro. Yeah.
There was one episode I remember where they were talking mess about Sergio Ramos, and I had a journal on my lap, and I just got so frustrated, and I know I couldn't do anything to them. I mean, we were on set. I just got it, and I just threw it on the ground. I was like, I'm sick and tired of these biases. Yeah. And I just slammed it, and that was like a clip.
Yeah, we push each other's buttons, man. We know where it hurts.
Yeah. I mean, they automatically know to talk about Real Madrid, Cristiano, Sergio Ramos, etc. You know what I'm saying? Now, Austin FC too, you know what I mean?
Yeah. There's one thing we all probably agree on this table is Austin FC, but everything else kind of like commingled rivalries, because you're a America fan and a Chelsea fan.
Yes.
You're Real and Chivas. You're Barcelona and Chivas. I'm America and Barcelona.
I'm also a Man U fan, which gets a lot of shit on Top Flight. So it's very humbling. Like, listening to Top Flight, I'm like, God damn, I hate that, but they're right. Like, fuck.
Man U's tough, though. Man U's tough because I have like a little bit of a soft spot for them because Chris played there. And we have a jersey up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do have a jersey up.
We have a very nice one up. So, Chris, Chris gives Man U a little bit of a pass. That's it.
Y'all give him a pass.
Yeah,
That's
plus
it.
everyone has their upbringing, man. You know, everyone has as a kid, you grow up, you witness a team or a sport as a little kid, and you fall in love with a team. And most, like you said, Chivas, America, Chivas. When I was young, as a little kid, I watched Liga MX, and I fell in love with America. You know, my whole family is Chivas fan.
Mm-hmm.
And as a kid, I was like, I'm just going to go against them in the Clásico. I just, you know, became an America fan growing up. And then, you know,
nice.
falling in love with America. And then I fell in love with the sport. And then I wanted to seek more of it. You know, when the Liga MX season was over, I would be like, where can I watch more of this? And then that's when you discover European football, which is like the pinnacle of quality in the sport.
Yeah.
It's like the best and the best. And then that's when I fell in love with Chelsea and following them. And now we have our own team, bro, in the city where I was born, the city that I'm from. So we got Austin.
Not that far away, too. So.
Yeah.
What's more special than that? We're walking distance away from Q2.
Literally walking
Bro,
distance.
you can see it.
Literally, you can see it.
I parked and I was looking at Q2. This is awesome.
It's a beautiful sight. It's a beautiful sight.
Yeah.
Same for me, though, man. I mean, I remember growing up, my dad, Chivas fan.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason why he's a Chivas fan is because they play with all Mexicans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's been Chivas' thing for a very long time. And so, somebody asked me this a couple of days ago. We were talking about, like, soccer moments in our life. And they asked me, what is the saddest moment you felt as a soccer fan in your life? And I had to sit. I really sat there, and I really thought about it. I was like, Real Madrid has given me more joys than sadness. So it can't be anything from, like, new. So I was like, I really have to dig deep. And I went to my Chivas times when I was like a kid, when Liga MX was literally like the pinnacle of soccer over here in this side of the world. Right now, the MLS is a little bit on its rise, right? Mm-hmm. But there was a final when Chivas played Pumas in like 2001.
I knew you were gonna say that. You were talking about it.
That's
like,
2001. And the guy that missed the penalty when Chivas lost it was El Flamingo Medina.
Yes, El Rafa.
Yes, he blew it over the bar. And I cried so much. I couldn't understand. I was like, why did my team lose?
Well, it's crazy. I was probably shedding some tears of my own, man.
Yeah,
we were like, fucking, that was a tough one.
My dad, he was actually going to go to La UNAM. So,
okay.
We're America, but he has a little bit of soft spot for UNAM, for los Pumas, and he was like, fuck yeah. And
Pumas have always been good, man.
Yeah.
Maybe not so much now, but back in the day when they had Kikín, Marioni, Leandro, the goalkeeper, Bernal, dude, that was prime Pumas.
That was a classic squad.
That's
for sure.
Did you watch the game where they played in the Santiago Bernabeu?
When they beat them?
Yeah.
Well, I didn't watch it, but I knew that game happened.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was so that during that time it was like Hugo Sanchez was the coach, so that's the reason why Pumas went, and it just, we go back, and that was already almost 20 years ago since that happened. That was like 2004. And now we're in a completely different scenario. We're actually all supporting an MLS team. Let's talk about Austin FC, and I want to talk about, like y'all's thoughts regarding the game against Montreal. One thing is the first win in Canada, and it's a tough one because, here it's hot, there's cold. Just like that change in temperature could, affect the physical part. But also I want to just talk about overall how do you guys feel about the dynamic of the team and the chemistry and the pitch?
Yeah, this game I feel like isn't being talked about as one of the biggest wins for us, because I think it's a huge victory because of the being down to 10 men and then coming back with a victory, because every time Austin either a red card or we go down or they come back on us, there's never been evidence of Austin FC either pulling through or securing a win. I know Josh Wolf likes to secure wins, and happens time and time again last season and a little bit of this season where they either tie or they come back on us. So, for us to have that glimpse of the ability, even though we're down 10 men, we can still make it happen. And it happened. Now I feel like it'll help the team going forward because they're like, we can do it. Mm-hmm. Before then, I just never saw any evidence of or anything off the bench that could tell me, we'll be all right, or we can come back. It's when we went down to 10 men, I was like, man, I'm gonna be real, man. I felt like it was a matter of time before we got scored.
You kept saying that.
You're just holding on.
Yeah.
Because I never there was no evidence or no data for me to go back to and point to a time. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe someone bring it up, a time where we could down to 10 men or in a crucial spot where we could have came back in the game, and we did it. So now we have that little piece of experience and going forward. So now that whenever we're in a situation like that, we can look back at this game and be like, look, we did it. We did it with 10 men, so we can do it here. We can do it next time. So I think it was a big game, bigger than I feel like everyone's talking about. I feel like, we're looking at the Dallas game, so it is what it is. Dallas is also a big game, but this is, in my opinion, one of the biggest wins in Austin FC.
I agree with you, B. 100%. I think this is one of the games that makes or breaks your season. You know what I'm saying? This is kind of like right in the middle of like this whole season, going away from home Canada, away from the country. You know what I'm saying? And you go down 10 men, just like B was saying, and you end up getting a win that not only puts you in a good spot in the table. We're sitting third, and Russell Lake has a
game in hand.
They have a game in hand. Yeah. So. No, they have a game more than us.
They have a game. We have a game in hand.
I was like, hold on.
Right.
We have the game in hand, so we could possibly jump up, second. Yeah. But what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking the most about is how good this puts us to face Dallas. You know what I'm saying? Because shout out to Vanilla Mexican. He's probably going to hear this. I was listening to his preview show on YouTube, and he was pretty much detailing FC Dallas and how they've been the past 4 or 5 games. The past 4 games, bro, they haven't been that good.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? They have been struggling. I think they've won maybe one of the last 4, if I'm not mistaken.
I think so, yeah.
So this is a team that's going to have to come into Q2, and they're not going to be that same team as they were last season. I know there's a lot of chatter saying that we lost all 3 games against them last season. But guess what? Pepe was here. ¿Dónde está Pepe?
Yeah.
¿Dónde está Pepe?
He's gone.
He's gone. Ghost. I don't know where he's at. I don't know where he's at.
Riding some bench somewhere. I don't know.
Last time I heard he was signing like some autographs in Dallas, but maybe he left already. But pretty much what my point is this Dallas team can be beat.
Yeah,
it can be beat.
And I could put it down to this, like the Dallas game is going to be a game where we can have a little bit, with a win, we can give us a little bit of separation between Dallas. Had we lost against Montreal, it would have been a game of like, oh, we got to try to keep up.
Yeah.
Now we're playing for a little bit of a cushion. So now we want a little gap between, second and third and fourth, because if we beat Dallas, we go a little bit, we go clear of them. And had we lost against Montreal, we would have been trying to fight to stay with them and stay.
This is also really, really fun, bro. The fact that we have a team in our city.
Yeah.
Keeping up with the table, it's a lot of fun. Saying like, shit,
like a block away.
We're in like third. Oh, we're gonna do like a cushion. You know what I mean? We're not talking about teams overseas. We're talking about teams right there.
Yeah.
You know
teams that represent us.
That represent us, players that we see.
Where we live.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where we work.
It's a lot of fun.
We were actually saying something similar to what Brian was saying. Is like this game right here, if we lose it, then I feel like the morale is going to just go down because we have Dallas next, and you're going to be double the pressure facing Dallas because you already lost to them 3 times. Like, even though, like, it doesn't matter, like, what happened last season, but it's the thing is, we got to win this game. Like, even if it's como caiga, like, we have to just take it.
Huge injection of confidence, I think this game was, man. And one thing that was great to see is having them bounce back after 2 defeats with the defeat against Pachuca and the defeat before that against Galaxy. The Galaxy was more of the slap in the face. Pachuca, whatever, friendly.
Another slap,
friendly.
But still,
friendly
still,
slap,
like
friendly slap.
Yeah, like you're slipping. The whole month of May, you were slipping.
Yeah.
So this was a perfect way to bounce back.
I agree.
I was the same way as you guys. Like when I saw them go 1 man down playing with 10 guys, I wasn't confident at all. Like I even thought back to the game against Orlando City where they were up 2 guys and they struggled to tie, and they ended up getting the tie at the end. But I just didn't see them coming back, and I was happily surprised to see that the team came back in that second half and played the way that they did. And Brad Suver had an amazing game.
Yeah.
And I was actually thinking, I wish I could have been a fly on the wall during that halftime speech, whatever it is that happened.
I was thinking the same thing.
Dude, and it's cool, like, hey, shout out to that Austin FC marketing team because they fucking made that little video.
Oh, badass.
Those videos have been pumping me up.
They don't miss, bro. They have not missed.
They're doing a lot better.
Shout out to Pai Swagyo. Pai Swagyo, man, she's incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible. And I think
She's
the
a
photographer is
Venezuela.
Jacob Gonzalez.
I watch those videos, me saca la emoción.
Yeah.
Bro, and I think whatever happened in that halftime, whatever speech that was, if Wolf didn't give that speech, that's one of the reasons why Wolf got MLS Coach of the Week.
Yeah,
and
he's the most coach.
That's like his third one.
Yeah, like the coach that's most had it.
That's third one. Yeah, so
hey,
I mean, it's kind of crazy because at the beginning of the season there was a big Wolf out movement.
Yeah,
that carried on from the first season. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But one thing that I wanted to know before we brush over this is that something for the fans. I don't know if people know this yet, but today it dropped the information on the Striker Texas was that Danny Pereira's only going to miss one game.
Oh, that's good.
Danny Pereira's only missing one game. Originally, he was going to miss the Dallas game and Charlotte. 2 big games, bro, because Charlotte talks a lot of mess. But apparently, the MLS posted that he's only going to miss out one game.
He still has the 4 yellows, though. So another yellow gets him another suspension.
Yeah. Danny. Danny's like the little cousin, like, hey, cabrón, también no te mamas.
Silver-tooth kid.
Yeah.
Silver-tooth kid.
No, it's every time you see Danny, you always see him, like, get that yellow card and like, oh.
Wow.
Yeah. You know it's coming. You can almost bet on
It's
it.
not,
For sure.
it's not if, it's when, you know.
Yeah. And, you know, surprisingly, the one that I'm cautious, like, he's going to get a yellow, but he's actually been a little more calm, is just the Ring.
Yeah.
He played really well.
Yeah.
Great.
Well, he played, like, his position, a little more defending, like, more defending, less
At
one.
the 6.
Yeah.
At the 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why I fancy him.
Yeah. And that's one thing that I have is Ring should be 5'6", contención, but not an 8. Like, he cannot be creating.
Yeah, I feel like Ring maybe saw his offensive abilities maybe last season, you know, because last season he pinged the ball in from outside the box. He showed a little bit of the offensive side to his game, but I feel like what comes natural to him is to hold and like be more rugged and try to get the ball back.
His ability to win it back.
His ability to win it back. So,
and you said it on the pod that Patrick Vieira.
Yeah, when he coached
New York City FC.
New York City FC, he kind of gave him that role. I feel like
he said, "You're a 6.
You're a 6.
Yeah. You're a
so,
6."
Hey, Wolf is gonna experiment. This is his team. So if you wanted to give Wolf Ring a shot going forward, he did. But in my opinion, I feel like he is best at the 6.
Sometimes I feel like Alex Ring might have a lot of pressure though, because not only is he like
Captain.
He's captain. He's also DP, which I really don't think he should necessarily have that title, but I know that it's good for the business of the club because they have a lot of different rules in the MLS, and it's like money moves and stuff like that, right? But man, I don't know, man. I feel like there's just a bunch of pressure on him to
prove himself.
To prove himself, you know what I mean? Because as like whenever you have that title DP, no matter what, people expect goals.
There's a target on your back.
People expect goals from you. You know what I'm saying? And Alex Ring, I just don't see him as that guy that's gonna bring you goals. You know what I mean? He's just like a perfect 6.
Yeah, and the thing is, the way I look at it is, Ring is more of a playing the line behind Driussi, not playing next to Driussi.
Yeah.
Because when you play next to Driussi, you're playing with a player that can actually create and can actually pass and move around.
Es un crack.
Es un crack. And whenever you can't, you know, that's not your role. It's better to just take that step back and, you know, go to the position. You're going to do a lot more for the team than when you were doing, like, in the past, in the first part of the season.
Yeah, and I feel like Wolf is going to give him another – I think he's going to play him at that position again, bro.
Wolf has definitely surpassed expectations. 100%, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we could talk a little bit about that Wolf out movement that kind of started at last year. I know B hates it. B hated it. B hated it. But
it was embarrassing, bro.
There was some people screaming loud. There was some people screaming loud.
Yeah.
But now I feel like he's definitely shut that crowd up. You know, I was also kind of saying it last season too. I'm own up to it because there was some just irresponsible games from Wolf. Like they won against FC Dallas away. That one got people really pissed off.
The away Dallas game was
that was for me. It's kind of like Wolf. Help me help you, bro. Like,
messed up, bro.
Yeah, it was just that. I mean, bringing in like completely different team against Dallas.
Not only team, but formation.
Yeah,
it was just I mean, like
he just threw him.
We
just threw him
hyped
on
up
there.
this away game. It was the invasion of Frisco. It was like this game meant a lot to the fans. It was just like it's been hyped and hyped and hyped. Like we were gonna invade. Like people were like, "Let's go, everybody, let's go!" And then we take a seat with our beer. And we see the lineup, and it's a complete.
You're over here sitting down, and you're like
what?
What is going
Perez
on?
was right back.
Like it was
crazy.
it was messed up, and it was a lot of emotion that game, and that's what the whole Wolf out thing is, because like the fans are emotional, and I understand that side of the game where the emotion comes out.
But firing a coach first season?
No, I don't. Not that crazy. You know,
Charlotte.
Well, that's a different little scenario there. I mean, I don't know. It's. You know, Charlotte, I've been hearing a lot of stuff about Charlotte and, you know, their ambitions or whatever. It's just a different scenario. I mean, you got a brand new coach who's unexperienced. He's going to need some time. He's going to need to build. He's going to need to trial and error.
That's their Wolf.
We'll see, man. I don't know.
That's their Wolf.
Different scenario,
Different scenario.
So going into Frisco, how do you guys feel about this next
we said Frisco, not Dallas.
I think it's going to be tough, bro. I think it's going to be tough, but I really like our chances. I mean, we're going to be at home. The fans are eager to get back. The fans have their voice because they've been rested. People are going to have so much energy. The game is, at 8?
Yeah,
so it's at night. It's a night game.
So
that's beautiful.
So it's not going to be hot. It's not going to be that hot. So people are going to be charged up.
Yeah,
people will be charged up.
And there's also that march before the game, which that should start hyping people up beforehand.
Yeah. Exactly. So I fancy us at home always. We're really good at home. So hopefully everybody is on. I said on the pod that everybody has to be on for us to win this game. Everybody has to be on. So I'm really excited to see what Josh Wolf is going to do. We said on the pod that maybe Owen Wolf gets moved to the center and then Ethan Finley starts on the right. Yeah. Or Owen Wolf stays up on the right and in the middle, Felipe. I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see what Wolf is going to come out for that game.
Luckily, we have some kind of some depth without Pereira.
Valencia also got hurt.
Valencia got hurt. So when we luckily we have players that can come in and do some work. Now the bench part is one of them. Like now what's gonna happen if someone else gets hurt? Yeah.
So now we've definitely been affected depth wise in the midfield with the loss of Danny for one game and Valencia with the knee injury. Not sure how long is he out with that knee injury.
4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, he had surgery on his.
No, he's probably gonna be out 6 to 8.
Yeah,
probably gonna be out 6 to 8.
Yeah, knees nothing to play with.
Yeah, he had surgery on his knee.
Some of us know here.
Yeah, for sure.
Saludos Valencia.
I saw a photo of a fan that was waiting for them outside the parking lot or outside the training facility gates, and as the players were leaving in their cars, they got off and took a picture with this little kid. And he took a picture with Valencia, and Valencia had like a
sleeve.
Yeah, he had a black brace in his leg. So I was like, hey, Fuerza Valencia.
Yeah, there was he was walking by, and Alicia, Fagu's mom, asked him like, hey, ¿cómo estás? And he looked pretty down on the game after Pachuca. Yeah. Because he probably there was something about his knee that, that I'm pretty sure, because he was limping.
Well, I mean, you also got to think, man. I mean, this is their job. This is how they give, this is how they put food on the table for their family. And if you're hurt, you might have a contract, but it's gonna hurt your next one. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like people are gonna look at that. They're gonna say, "Oh, this guy's injury prone or whatever," and you never know. You might not ever come back from it or work hard, and you'll be good.
The game is competitive, man. It's tough, it's cutthroat.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, you guys. Unless you have anything else to say on the football segment, I would like to jump into your background.
Score predictions.
Score predictions.
There we go.
Score predictions.
Thank you.
No, you guys watch the Mate con Voz. Asked Ruti, hey, what's your prediction for el pronóstico para el partido de Montreal? He's like, no, ¿qué es tu pronóstico en Montreal? Dijo, pueda que llueva, nublado, poquito sol. I was cracking up because he stayed quiet and he's like, how can I say this not being an asshole?
Funny guy.
Hey, and he had an amazing game.
Yeah.
He came back.
I'm glad he got back on the score sheet, man, because he started off hot for us.
Maxi?
He started off hot.
Maxi.
And then he fell on a little drought, man.
He hit a drought.
He hit a drought, and then now he's back on. Hope he can build from that.
Man, hopefully he keeps him, man.
Yeah. Maxi getting back on the score sheet is definitely something that we're going to need him frequent. You know what I'm saying? Because B touched in on it perfectly. He said that it was like a whole month that he went without scoring a goal. And, I mean, in order to be a successful team that competes for playoffs, your striker has to give you goals. Yeah. We dropped a video not that long ago detailing where our goals are coming from. And we're the second highest scoring team in the MLS, if I'm not mistaken, but only maybe 10 goals, maybe less, came from our
strikers.
Yeah, from our freaking number 9. So that might be a little bit of a problem going on forward. Yeah. But Maxi just needs to get more in rhythm, and little by little we're gonna.
Yeah, he is like el delantero. He lives from goals, and that's his job. And having him score is good because it's gonna give you confidence for a tough game like this one.
That little poke, you can't teach that. Also, that poke is just instinct.
It's natural.
It's just natural. It's knowing. Sure. It's just knowing that if you hit it with a certain toe or with a certain part of your cleat, it's gonna go a certain direction. And just get it on frame.
It's that Largo too.
Toe poke is just instinct.
It's that Largo, you know.
Yeah, he is.
And shout out to Gallagher for that left-footed pass. I know he's not confident with his left foot, but he's been putting a lot of work in there, and it's been showing.
Hey, shout out to Bali. He said he was like he said Gallagher. How is a converted left back taking a left back spot?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Las ganas,
that is strange.
Las ganas. You just,
Komanik.
Yeah.
How is he losing his
How
spots
bad a form could he have that he's losing it to someone who's that left?
He's down right now. Danny is down right now.
His
form's not good.
His form is not good at all, bro. But luckily, we have a guy that's working hard, and whoever's working the hardest gets it, bro.
I love that journeyman style player where, like, coach, wherever you need me.
That's it.
I'm ready to put in work, and I love those players. Man.
Yeah,
dude.
Los plurifuncionales.
Otro es Héctor.
Jimenez.
Héctor is also winning a lot of fans over, bro. With his recent games, he's winning a lot of fans. Watch out. Bali has been his day one fan.
Oh, yeah. Bali's a day one Héctor fan.
Day one Héctor fan.
Hey, pero le echa un chingo de ganas. I mean, he really wins a lot of balls, and he's been playing pretty solid.
And he's got 3 rings.
3 rings,
He's
dog.
got 3 rings, man.
3.
He does something right.
Let's get him his 4th.
Yeah, let's get him his 4th.
Let's get him his 4th.
Yeah, we should all get this guy a 4th. What they should get it, and then we banter about it.
I think in the odds we're like up there right now, bro.
Yeah.
In the odds to win it, because I mean we've done pretty well against the Eastern Conference.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Austin FC wins championship. Where does everyone meet?
Oh, man.
Hop squad.
Hop squad.
Hop squad.
We're gonna have to make Hop squad run out of beer, dude.
Where are we gonna riot? I don't know.
I can't even begin to think of the emotions and the feelings of, like, first of all, I want to feel a playoff game. You know,
Yeah.
I don't even.
Let's
know
get
what
to the
that
playoffs
feels
first.
like.
Let's get to that.
Jumping ahead of myself.
Hey man, you know what? That's where it starts, bro. You gotta believe in
You
that
gotta
shit.
believe, bro.
Exactly.
Telazo, baby. Let's
Ándale.
Chicharito.
Y manejamos cosas chingonas.
Chicharito.
go. Awesome, guys. All right, predictions.
I got 2-1, man. ATX. Simple.
I said 2-2. I said 2-2. I think it's gonna be a high scoring game both sides, but shit, maybe 3-2 us, but I say 2-2.
2.
I was gonna say 3-2 as well.
3-2.
3-2 win.
It's gonna be high scoring.
So 3-2 and last minute go by este pinche Ruti, un cabezazo de donde caiga, pero lo va a meter.
Or Gabrielson last minute header.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
Or Cascante, Mike, full one and then pump the shit out of me.
Yeah.
Cascante to the World Cup, bro. We have to get that.
Yeah, dude.
We have to make that happen.
That would be amazing.
Cascante to the World Cup.
That would be amazing.
He's been
That'd be good, man. I mean, he's improved a lot, like a lot.
yeah, definitely one of our most improved players.
And he's pretty tall, dude.
Yeah, dude.
And he's fresh.
He's fresh.
Yeah, he's got that.
He's
Get that
bro.
trip.
Probably top 5 in the MLS.
I would say
in
so.
Yeah.
I would say so.
too.
In drip.
Fresh.
Because Drusi has
I would say we have at
Dior,
least in the top
LV.
5. We have at least 3 players that have that trip.
100%.
Lucy, Julio, y quién más?
Fagu.
Fago has drip.
And now we also reste Maxi too.
Maxi, yeah.
Maxi, I've seen him like, okay, what the little, something.
Si trae-
Zanny
cuando,
dresses
hey,
nice.
cuando hay feria, hay
sorry, Zan.
Louis, hay Christian Dior.
Like Christian Dior's.
All right, guys. Well, let's get into that live segment. Let's talk about you guys. Hernan, Bryan, tell us a little bit about your backgrounds.
Sheesh. What do you want to know?
I mean,
Let's start with how was it like growing up for you guys in Austin, especially like you guys are from this out of town,
Yeah,
right?
right here,
Yeah.
close. Yeah, right here, right here.
North Austin.
North Austin.
I was just telling you earlier. Whenever I was born, I was born 1995 here. Not necessarily here, but I was born in the old Brackenbridge Hospital.
Same.
When I was born at the time, my parents, we lived in the apartments right up the street right here.
Okay.
The Austin Commons, I think that was their name at one point. But they were like painted red back in the day. I think they're red now, but they went through a bunch of colors throughout the years. And shortly after that, when I was like 2, so in like 98, we bought a house in still in North Austin over there by Woodridge. And I went to Woodridge Elementary. I went to Burnham Middle School where I'm at B. And then I went to what was once called Lanier High School. Ahora se llama Navarro Early College Start. That's where I graduated from in 2013. I mean, I grew up pretty chill, man. I mean, stayed out of trouble, just really focused on soccer. Not everybody goes pro, obviously, but I played in some really good teams. I got medals, you know what I'm saying, that I still fucking cherish. I made it to regionals in D1, played against some really good teams, but that was it. Other than that, I mean, like we said, I'm a Real Madrid fan. I'm a Chivas fan. And I do the graphics for We're Austin TV and a bunch of stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's just a little bit about me.
Yeah. For me, I mean, like I said, I was born here in Austin, Texas, and I grew up right by Burnett Middle School. Y'all know where that little like plaza is where El Rancho's at, or what was that? A little furniture place, FAMSA. Yeah,
FAMSA's still there.
Okay.
FAMSA's still
Still
there.
there. Yeah. Right behind that that
Olin?
little plaza, there was a street where I came up from there, and I went to Wood Middle School, and then I went to Burnett where I met Hernan. I didn't really play for teams. You know, I tried out for Viper when I was young, you know, but, you know, my mom couldn't really afford to, like, take me to practices and pay for all that kind of stuff. So I never really played. I always kind of played with the guys, you know, on the street, you know, the street soccer where we put, you know, sweatshirts and made goals and played with, you know, on the street. Had to stop when the cars drove by. That's how I grew up playing soccer.
Barrio.
You know?
Barrio Fútbol.
Yeah. And, man, my upbringing, you know, I came up from a little, like, I guess the neighborhood was kind of a little bit underdeveloped, a little bit, you know, some rough times growing up. But, you know, overcoming adversity for me kind of helped develop my character, who I am today. You know, a lot of hard work. You know, growing up with the oldest of 4, you know, my family kind of looked up to me as the answer guy growing up, as the go-to guy. So I had to step up, man, at a young age. So, joined a trade school. I'm an electrician. You know, shout out IBW 520. And, we were Austin TV. I met Hernan in middle school. Mm-hmm. I've been knowing Hernan for a while. And I'm just blessed, man. I'm happy to be able to start this project, not only Top Flight and We're Austin TV, but to have the ability to do something that I've been wanting to do for a really long time, to chase a dream. Not a lot of people are you know, people have kids and wives and mortgages and stuff, and I got to focus their time on their family and stuff. And for me to have the opportunity to chase a dream, it's a blessing, man. It's a blessing.
Yeah, B said it pretty good.
Pretty good.
He said it pretty good.
Did you also grow up in a struggle, Hernan?
No, I mean, honestly, bro, not really. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that. Oh, I'm from the trenches. I'm from the shit. I'm not from that kind of lifestyle, bro. I grew up in my mom was there, my dad was there. I'm the middle child. I had a older sister who was badass. She was like an umbrella. Like, she kept me away from like the bad people. You know what I'm saying? She's 5 years older than me, so she knew who the bad people were whenever we were coming up. So she would kind of like push me in the right
guidance
directions to keep me like in sports and stuff like that. Like, she would buy me shoes and stuff whenever my parents couldn't. Because my mom, whenever I was growing up, my mom, she would go through a lot of, like, sicknesses. Like, she would get sick of everything, bro. Like, I remember she was sick all the time, bro. All the time. And if you really, really know me, I've opened up to you about that part of my life. And throughout, like, all middle school and high school, like, I was just focused on kind of, like, taking care of her and stuff like that. And she's still here, and she's better than ever now. So that's good. That's good to hear. That's the best part. That's good. That's the best part about it. But she was always there. My dad was always working. My dad paid for my soccer. I met a lot of people through soccer. People like now to this day, their positions in like the real world, and I go up to them like, "What's up, bro?" You know, because we met from back in the day, like people from Q2. You know, that they now listen to the pod. We met whenever we were like kids, playing in Vipers, playing in Red Wings, stuff like that. So that brought me a lot of friends. I have a little brother too. I'm 10 years older than him, so there's like a big gap there.
Pretty big gap.
Big gap there.
Between
so,
your older sister and your younger brother.
Yeah, between her and my younger brother is 15 years. So she's 5 years older than me. I'm 10 years older than my little brother. So he was born in 2005 when I was in 5th grade. So whenever he was a baby, like that was kind of like the time where I wanted like attention from my parents and stuff like that. So I kind of like just poured myself into soccer and into my friends. So, you know what I'm saying? So every time there was pickup at Woodridge, we actually got kicked out of Woodridge because we messed up a portable that we used for goal. Remember that? Whenever they kicked us out? Remember that?
Yeah. We get kicked out of quite a places playing soccer, man.
We just found
When you say kicked out, you mean a cop drove by?
Yeah,
like, hey,
yeah,
get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, exactly.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah, but like we just grew up playing soccer like that, you know what I'm saying? And growing up with a little brother, it definitely like, it makes you think of things in a different way. Like people say that when you have a kid, it changes you. I don't have any kids, but having a younger brother changed me as an adult right now because I want the best for him. You know what I'm saying? And like the things that people didn't tell me when I was young, I told him. You know what I'm saying? And right now, my brother, he's like number 2 or number 1 in his class. I told him that if he keeps straight A's, he's going to have tickets for Austin, and he has his season pass. So pretty much like the resources have been there, you know what I'm saying? But there's been a lot of people that come from like a background like mine that have the resources and shit like that and still act like they're, you know, from like the bottom of the bottom, and they mess up these like chances. So I'm just trying to like keep my little brother in like the right path and, you know, get him like a nice 6-figure tech job and shit like that, you know what I mean? Because whenever like you grow up as like a Mexican in this area, I kind of feel like the only way out is like through like a construction gig or something like that. We don't.
It's what you see.
It's
you
like
know what you see.
It's definitely what you see. So
it's definitely quicker too. I mean,
it's definitely quicker.
You can go to college and have to pay and.
But that's not really like, it wasn't really like pitched to us.
Yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? It was not pitched to us.
They in school, they always pitch, you know, join the Army, join the Marines. They never pitch like, hey, join a trade school.
Not even a trade school, bro. Not even a trade school.
Plumbers, electricians, you know, iron worker, elevator technicians.
Dude, I would say sometimes that could be very strategic where the military services go and kind of pitch their thing. I grew up in a similar area to you guys, not in Austin, north side of Houston. So I really credit the game of Fútbol so much and keeping me out of the bad crowds. And it's so important. It's something that we don't really touch on in the podcast, but maybe we should, is like when young men especially are going through that 12, 13, 15, 16-year-old age, is when you have so many crazy changes happening to your mind and your body that like you have to either compete or show out or do something, right? And if you're not in the right crowd, you're not following the right people, you're gonna do it in the wrong ways. Yeah. So
I have a lot of like examples of that.
Yeah,
man.
we all know. We all have friends and families that like took the wrong route and they ended up the way they did, and it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to look at.
Bro, I was the first boy of my dad's side to graduate high school. That's like one of the most basic things.
That's a huge step. Like,
and there was more than 2 people ahead of me, bro. There was 4 guys. There was 4 older cousins that I had that did not graduate high school, bro. They just got out, you know. Didn't, you know, fuck it. Don't need school, but at least graduate high school. Dude.
I was the first out of both my families. I was the first one to graduate high school. I was the first one to seek education past that. You know, so yeah, I mean, it's a lot of pressure being the oldest and having you know, everyone looked, but like, you know, coming up and seeing all the friends that you have, and then you know, seeing them fall to that environment around you, it's tough. I mean, we need more, like, you know, Austin FC put that pitch by was it by Wooldridge?
Yeah, they changed the
mini pitch.
Yeah, that to me that's amazing, bro. If we could have, like,
imagine if we had that. Imagine if we had that when we
would
were
have been a
game changer, bro.
Yeah, if we could have one of those at every almost every other block, would change the game.
Definitely, and that goes to shout out to, you know, 4ATX Foundation,
shout out to
organizations like Better the Leaders, doing their thing to come into neighborhoods that we're from, that we grew up in, and trying to make a difference to the game and through positive influence. So, like, we're talking about that right now. If we would have had that growing up, how much we would have cherished it. So we know that the kids now are cherishing it and taking advantage of those opportunities.
You know, you need something to do, and you know, you can fall into, you know, they're easily gullible with people. You know, playing in, you know, my cousins and friends. You know, I'm glad that I didn't. I feel like the reason why I kind of didn't fall into those scenarios, because just being scared and thankful for my mom for disciplining me and kind of understanding, like, hey, you know, don't do this stuff, but. You know, I could have easily been gullible to other people, and, like, you know, as a kid, what you want to do is not show weakness, and you want to be brave. You want to do things. So whenever someone says, "Hey, do this," and then if you don't, you're weak, or you're scared, you're a loser, scaredy cat. So then a kid is either, fuck, I don't want to be a scaredy cat. So they do things that they don't.
A lot of kids fall into that, bro.
Yeah. They fall into that.
Sure.
And the thing is, sometimes we don't push, especially like in Hispanic culture, we don't push to be each other strong in a way where it's healthy.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's tough, man. We gotta change. Somehow that needs to kind of change a little bit, man. You know, it's tough, but, you know, it's getting better here in Austin. You know, the street where I grew up, it's a lot better. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, they had programs where they would clean up the streets, and they had like cops and a parade, and, you know, people from the city, like the dog collectors would catch all the stray dogs. You know, people from the city would come and trim down all the overgrown bushes, and they would have like a cookout, and, like, you know, and they would show kids and all this stuff. And so I've seen the I guess the attitude of them trying to, but it's, you know, doing that, it cleans it up, but then you got to go in deep. You got to go in where it starts.
It's like almost surface level, right?
Yeah, it's almost surface level to just clean it up, and, you know.
Also, what B's saying is 100%, bro. Like, I clearly remember like late high school, whenever we got cars, going to pick up B because we're going to go play basketball, we're going to go play pickup, we're going to go eat or whatever. And like we would pull up to the street and we'd be like, no, mames, bro, like get on, let's go, you know what I'm saying? And like, and I can't come on here to the round table and say, oh, you know, like earlier I said, you know, oh, I come from a bad background, like I had it hard, because B really did come from what he's telling y'all, you know what I'm saying? Like there was a real struggle in B's past, and I see who he is today. And like I said, we met when we were in 6th grade. What is that, like 11, 12 years old? Yeah. We're now 26, 27. Like I see who he has become today, and from where he comes from, he could have easily been just a screw up, like a mess up. Just one other guy that fell through the cracks.
If I wanted to be brave, I guess, I was scared of this kind of stuff. You know, I would see drugs and, you know, gang stuff on the street, and I was always like, oh, stay away from that. I was just scared, you know. And my mom, knowing if I ever did something, my mom would, like, you know, she would whoop my ass with a belt, like, hey, you know, to learn the lesson. So exactly. So
no cap.
Whenever I would see stuff, my mind would be like, oh, my mama va chingar, you know, fuck that. I'm not doing that. So that kind of helped me. And
Moms know.
Moms definitely know for sure.
There was one kid, bro. There was one kid I'm not gonna name. He's in and out of jail now, bro. But whenever we were younger, he didn't live that far. He used to go knocking at the crib, and he used to ask for me. And I would be there at the house. Where else I was gonna be? You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's out. No, he's at home playing PlayStation or whatever, right? But he would go to the house and he would knock on the door and he would ask for me to go play soccer. And it was just a simple activity like playing soccer. But that guy grew up today and he's in and out of prison to this day. And just at that moment, my mom knew, like, my son's not gonna hang out with you. You know what I'm saying? Like she saw it in this kid that was like 10 or 12 years old, and she kept me away from this dude. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could have easily gone to play soccer with him. We could have became best friends, and we could have been doing all sorts of bad things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being just easily falling through the cracks. And
being the oldest too, like, you know, I have a younger brother and then a younger sister and then a baby brother. And just like, if, you know, I would always, like, they would always look up to me as far as, like, you know, what do they do or how do they act? I remember realizing when they were growing up, they would start talking like me. They would start. My brother was trying to buy clothes that looked like mine, so I realized.
What was your brand back in the days?
I would rock, like, you know, I'm gonna be real, man. I rock like Fútbol,
There you go.
A little bit of Fat Farm.
Those were live in 6th grade,
some Dickies, you know, some South Pole,
Davis,
South Pole, you know
Polo.
what I mean? Yeah.
The K-Swiss.
I never really like dressed gangster, but B used to have that Cholo swag.
I had tall tees, man.
Oh yeah, the tall tees.
I had bandanas hanging out of my pockets, you know. Just
I was like a rocker. I was like a rocker kind of swag.
You had the skinny jeans with the little rips
I
and
had,
shit.
I was kind of like a rocker.
What was your band?
Jonas Brothers.
Jonas Brothers.
The Jonas Brothers. Oh, shit.
Jonas Brothers were my shit back in the day.
They're actually our next guest next week right now.
Nah, for real. Back in like middle school, I was a big Jonas Brothers fan for no reason.
Why? I would have never thought of that, dude.
I don't know why, bro. It was just like
I was thinking like Blink 182 or something.
I was on SPM, man.
I wasn't into
SPM.
SPM, you know. I had a Duranguense vibe, you know, in middle school.
Hey,
Duranguense was a shit.
Botas picudas, okay.
Lil Wayne.
Lil
Wayne fan, 100%. Mexican music, 100%. But like in the English part or whatever, like in the American
Jonas Brothers
aspect of things, I was a real like Disney Channel fan.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So like,
High School Musical and all that.
I saw all those movies. Yeah. All those movies. I think part 2 came out on my birthday. You know what I'm saying? So it was just on the TV.
That's badass.
I watched it.
I think it's like a little bit of a generational thing too, because you're about my sister's age, and growing up I didn't have cable, but when I was like a late teen, we got cable, and my sister was like listening to all these Disney bands that you're talking about. So it's kind of funny to look at. And I'm also the oldest of 3, so I relate to you, man. And I see that, like, I started to see that I was in band growing up. My sister played. She saw me playing trumpet. She wanted to play trumpet. Yeah. My little brother saw us in band. He also joined band. So I saw like the influence, and I was like, oh fuck, these like little beings are like looking up to me. So I got to step up. You know.
And whenever I would mess up, like, you know, I would do something that would cause my mom to either discipline me or show it. And I looked at my brothers. I'm like, it kind of makes you feel like, man, why did I do that? Because, you know, you got your brother looking at you, and now he's gonna feel like what I did is okay, and it's not, you know. And I've been I guess the guy to go through the mistakes and go through the struggle to kind of pass on to my younger brothers, like, you know, the simple mistakes growing up, like, hey, you know, you saw I fucked up right here. When you get to this point, do this instead. Don't do what I did. And then it goes on, and I make another mistake, another fuck up, and then I tell him, hey, look, see what I did here? Don't do that. Do this instead. So I've been kind of passing that on to them. And
for sure.
Not having like a father figure or whatever, or, I had to be that type of person. And I think has a lot to do with.
And also one thing that we have to highlight, bro, is like, while B came from the struggle that he's told us, and I was watching Disney Channel, both parent figures at the house playing soccer because we could pay for it and shit like that. One thing that we do have to highlight is, like, my dad, he was there for me all the time, but one thing that I see that my dad kind of, like, not necessarily failed me, but, like, missed out in telling me or giving me, like, the info was the fact that he's the first, from his family, what I'm trying to say, from his family, from his last name, from his lineage, you know what I'm saying? He's part of the first people that crossed the border and came to the USA. You know what I'm saying? So I'm that first guy.
First gen.
That is the first gen. You know what I'm saying? So nobody told us about taxes. Nobody told us about all these things. Exactly, he himself is still learning kind of with me. And there's things. There's also things that I learned today that I told him, like, hey, Dad, did you know this and this and that? Oh, okay, cool, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, there's a thing that if you buy land, if you have cows on that land, dude, you pay so much less in taxes. Nobody tells you that. You know what I'm saying? So you think of buying land, you think of paying a lot in taxes, just get some cows and put them on.
That's why I see the cows in your story.
Get some cows and put them on there.
That's why.
Your taxes drop drastically.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard of that.
So there's a lot of info that is not passed on to us.
It wasn't accessible to us, so we're having to catch it on the fly and, like, pass up.
You know what I'm saying? Because they're from a place in Mexico where there's no technology. They came from farmer gathering type shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, my dad said that it was weird when he didn't have lice. You know what I'm saying? Like, they would get haircuts every 6 months.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He said that he only went to at least first grade, and then he was like, I don't need it anymore. They didn't want to go. My mom, she grew up closer to El DF. My mom is from Lubianos. My dad is from Zitácuaro, Michoacán. Okay. But he's from a rancho called Palominos. Very, 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 very small up in El Cerro type shit, right? My mom went to, like, 6th grade at least because she was part of a more formal school. Like, they had an actual teacher, one guy for, like, 6 years. You know what I'm saying? But my dad, he grew up in a very rural situation. You know what I'm saying? So he didn't know any of these things. You know what I'm saying? So that's something that definitely gets missed on info that's passed on to these first gens, like being, it's like all of us here.
Well, these, when like your parents, they come over here, they're making a sacrifice for to better generations ahead. Like,
that's a tremendous sacrifice if you think about it, bro.
Exactly. They're not. There's a point where you gotta accept the fact that, like, okay, my struggle and all these things that I'm doing, all this hard work and labor and sacrificing my life till I get old, and I'm starting to hurt from all the work that I've done. And then my kids will have to work, and then their grandkids. I'm doing this to start the seed, to start the root for my great-great-grandkids to be these you got to start it somewhere. And we're just passing along. Hopefully all children can learn from our parents, our mistakes, and then they pass it on, and we can.
Right. And man. I think that's something very special about what it is that we all do here. We all have our platforms and podcasts. We get to tell our stories. Yeah. And one thing that I kind of look at my parents at, and, like, I see them, and I always cherish when they tell me stories of their past, of their struggles, of the things that they went through. But it's always, second, it's firsthand information, but from someone that experienced it so many years ago. And kind of what we're doing in our platforms indirectly is showcasing some of our stories, and our generations are going to be able to look back and, like, oh, damn, that's what they were talking about.
Like, something you can't fathom.
Yeah.
Something you can't fathom is, like, imagine sleeping with no AC. Like, for me, I can't, what? Like, what? And then the parents like,
I've had it all my life.
Yeah, exactly. Your parents never, like, there's a kid, AC, what? That's insane. So small little things like that is just like, it's crazy.
Well, even, like, say, for example, if you look at all the kids right now that there's age, like, for example, little Fatima, she's growing up in an environment where she sees all different, like, people from different backgrounds. And I'm pretty sure as she's growing up, she's inspired to do more in life because of that simple part of being part of the murga. Little Sebas, when he grows up, he's going to be like, man, I was this kid. And then another kid that I was looking at, and I've been like just noticing he's like interested in a lot of things. Is just the Ray's little
Ray's son.
Ray's son.
Ray's son.
Yeah, and he's actually like yeah, there we go. And he
Just in case y'all didn't know.
He plays the bombo, and he does photography.
Yeah.
He can take some badass
That's
pictures.
dope.
He has been taking some really good
Like
ones.
and yeah, and he came to me like this past event at the Ghost Gate, and he's like, "Hey man, you know, can you talk more about your settings and everything?" And the camera, yeah, so from what I know,
That's
you know.
badass.
And for me, it reminds me of my nephew, because my nephew, right now he's 14, and this guy can play the guitar, like lead and like rhythm.
Yeah.
At a young age, he can play the drums. He can take
Corridos?
pictures. He
Corridos?
can probably put a corrido. That
Vamos a contratar.
I know, right?
Un
Like,
corrido tumbado.
he's like he called me out of nowhere last year, and I was working, but like, hey, what's going on? He's like, hey, so I spoke to this representative from Nike, because I'm trying to get like a way so they can pay me to wear Nike, and they refer me to this. So what do you think I should do? And I was like, send them the email and copy me on it, you know, but also tell your mom before you do anything. But he's like, yeah, he's like out here trying to reach out to Nike to get, you know, some kind of sponsorship, because he wants to wear Nike. Or right now he's all into Austin FC and Fagundes. He's like, hey, have you do Fagundes? I said hi. And like, oh, I can try. I don't know him, but I can try. But for me, it's our generation, we're the ones that changed everything. Like, say, we're the ones that
Inspired.
broke a lot of curses of you know, poverty, or a lot of curses of, you know, we don't have to work a construction work, which everything, you know, it's good. Like, it's good to go work and you know, bring food to your table, but it's also good when you also do something outside of that allows you to be creative, allows you to be, you know, like talk about like soccer, for example, talk about life, you know, doing something like this. And that inspires the other generations, because they're going to do it way better than we are. Like, we're over here trying to figure it out. And by the time they grow up, they're going to see this, and they're going to be thinking of something completely different, and probably make it a lot more simpler.
Yeah, be the examples to these young. Yeah, the curiosity in young people is amazing. You know,
Yeah.
You got a kid curious about different things they see. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, because like for me, when I grew up, the reason I wanted to go to college is because I grew up in an environment where I was kind of like encouraged to go to college and finish college. Then I was like, man, I don't have papers. How am I going to do it? I crossed the border. And I was like, fuck it, a ver qué. And then, you know, you apply, you start knocking on doors, and you surround yourself with people that I always wanted to be friends with everyone as much as possible, people that have messed it up, and to be cool with them, but also people that have made it, or, you know, somehow have done something different. And I think that's what helped me out, is the fact that I get to see both sides, and I get to see how someone that grew up with like the lack of resources made it, and how someone that, like you said earlier, had the resources, you know, they're in a different place right now.
Hard work, man. Don't be scared to work. Don't be. I mean, the first step is like discomfort. Discomfort. It sucks to be discomfort, to have discomfort, and working hard, and it's scary. But it's okay to put in the grind. It's all right. Like, put in the grind, put in the hard work. As long as you're dedicated to something, all that effort, all that grind that you've been doing is going to work out. People want something now. You got to build up to something. You know what I mean? Have something in mind and work hard to it. Don't be scared to work, man.
No, I love that you said that. Embracing discomfort.
Embracing discomfort.
For sure.
Man. Yeah.
No, you guys, and one thing that I really love about our community, our Latino community, especially hearing all your stories, is how much we're willing to appreciate the sacrifices that are made, but not just get comfortable and just pushing it through into something else, something different, and following our own stories and our own path. Yeah. So one of the things that we wanted to get into is the great platforms that you guys have made with Top Flight and We Are Austin TV in this day and age and social media society. You guys are killing it out there. You guys are.
Thanks, man.
You guys have grown, and I've noticed through the episodes, everyone that comes out is a little bit more polished. You guys have great conversation, great banter, and it's becoming a thing where like we can understand the chemistry and the amount of just passion and love that you guys have for the game, and it shows through. So talk to us a little bit about We Are Austin TV and Top Flight. Like, tell us the story of how it was born.
Yeah, I mean, we started We Are Austin TV. It was basically me and H and, a homie Daniel kind of got together.
Danny Benz.
We got
Straight
together.
crazy.
We didn't have a logo, but we knew what we wanted to do. We wanted to be like a fan version of media. We wanted like a fan media type of content out there. Independent, just from the fans to the fans, like a different look. Austin FC has great content, but that's from Austin FC. We want to give the fan view of different things. And then, like I mentioned before we started recording, I was blessed and had the opportunity to actually work at the construction for Q2. So when Q2 was just a dirt pit, I was out there and I was like, man, fans are so excited that they would show up to the parking and like play. La Murga was there, Los Verdes, Rigo, Ray, and everybody was out there, like, practicing, Las Chants. There's no stadium, it's just a pit.
Yeah. It's just a pit.
So I was like,
trenches.
man, I was in there. I took a picture of like some beams, just like some dirt and beams, and like, look, the future of Q2. We posted on We're Austin TV, and been posting the progress of the stadium. So that's like the original. I mean, our name at the beginning was, remember, McCalla Place TV.
McCalla Place
was
TV.
Our first name.
Yeah,
Oh, sure. So was this an Instagram page? Or
Yes, Instagram and Twitter.
Page.
Instagram
Gotcha.
and Twitter.
We weren't fond of Twitter at first, though. We
Yeah,
like,
I don't think anyone was
I
until
couldn't
like
really
recently.
figure out how to like click.
Yeah, what
I
was
couldn't
the
really figure
vibe?
out how to click.
Yeah.
Like B has been really influential on Instagram, and like that's like our growth on Instagram has kind of been credited mostly to B because of what he's telling y'all right now about the whole stadium growth. Like that really made us pop. We were the only page that was posting out content, and that kind of got us in trouble with the club. Whenever they allegedly, a guy that doesn't work there anymore emailed us and wanted to talk about us stopping posting our content. We were like, what can you do to us? And he was like, well, like kind of nothing. So we were like, I was like, all right.
And
so
the fans love that. They love that we were doing stuff that were like, I can't see this anywhere else. It's like, we were the first ones to announce when,
there was
the
like the
seats
first square of grass.
the
The
lights
seat,
come on.
ATX on the supporter section.
Yeah.
What else? And there was many more things that
Many more
we
stuff.
could have done.
Yeah.
But we didn't because we're like, nah, Austin FC is gonna really come after us.
You had to toe the line. You had to be careful.
We weren't going too crazy, crazy with it. But that was the original. And then, I mean, to be honest, man, when we started doing that, me and H said, hey, I got a MacBook. H had a MacBook, and we're like.
Well, I bought your old
you did. My
Mac.
iMac. I sold him my
old ass iMac.
And then I bought a used MacBook from the homie.
He sold it to me for like $300.
The recycle.
Yeah, it was
For like $300.
Yeah.
$300.
Okay.
So it wasn't that old. It wasn't that old. It was that one, but from like 2009.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I had that.
So it
one.
was kind
I
of
had
thick.
that. It was a thick
It
one.
was a thick one, yeah. But that's where I downloaded Affinity Photo and Affinity Design, and that's where we started making graphics.
I bought a book off Amazon. It's a Affinity Design textbook starter. So I was like, I bought a book. I opened the first page, an introduction, and I was like, all right. And we just started reading, and I was like, okay. All right, and then we just started making edits. H freaking took off with that, bro. H is a freaking...
I've always wanted to do that,
Yeah.
though. I've always wanted to do that because I've always been a big soccer fan, and, we've been on Twitter for a long time, and I've always seen, like, wallpapers be posted on Twitter, graphics be posted on Twitter.
433,
and there was
like
never the perfect one for me. I was always like, I wish this one had this instead of that, or I wish it was this player instead of this player and that player. So I was like, man, one day I'm going to, like, start making my own wallpapers. You know what I'm saying? So then, like, Austin FC started signing players and photos started being taken, and one thing leads to that, and hours of practice lead to this. And like B said, whenever you really want something, just stay dedicated, just stay focused, and just focus on that. And like from like his hustle, I take a lot from that because I see like he does things, and I'm like, oh, okay, well if he's doing this, I'm gonna go hard too.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
We're like pushing each other.
Yeah, so it's like okay, like he's doing this, okay, well I'm gonna do this. You know what I'm saying? Or it's
he's doing that, well then I'm gonna do this.
It's like never like, oh he's doing this, all right, well I'm gonna just chill. Nah, it's always like, okay, he's doing this, well I'm gonna do that, or he's doing that, well I'm gonna do that.
If you go back to our Instagram, it's gonna be a while because we have a lot of posts, but our original edits were like it was
They're
like
trash.
it was trash.
Yeah, man.
It was
That's where he
learning.
starts,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly.
Kind of trash.
And
Tells the story.
As we learned that, we got closer to game day. The stadium was being built. The stadium content kind of slowed down. We were printing edits. We wanted to add something else. Like
we knew that we needed to change.
So
we knew that we needed to adapt
to
what was to come.
I saw H killing it with the edits, and I was like, let me step into the video editing game. So that's when
What's that?
Yeah.
Like you, like
Oh, yeah,
how, like
thank
like what you're doing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Thank you.
then I started learning video edits, making cuts, adding music and stuff like that. And then when game time came, we flew out to Colorado. You know, I stopped doing edits. I haven't done an edit for a while.
First it was LA, then Colorado.
Who's doing the edits right now for y'all?
H does the
H.
edits,
I do
yeah.
all the edits. I do all the
¿Y
edits.
qué hace Bali?
Bali, we're gonna get to Bali. We're gonna get to Bali. We're gonna get to Bali in a
I
bit.
do all the video editing, like the fan reactions, and I also produce the podcast. So I kind of ventured in that. So now we're kind of like, it's like a mixture. He does that, I do this, and it both provides for the page.
And also like how we were talking about before was like people see my face and they see my face everywhere. They see me doing the interviews. They see my face maybe on Instagram videos. Everywhere, you know what I'm saying? Well, that has to relate with We're Austin TV. Everybody associates me with the page, you know what I'm saying? But behind the scenes, I'm just kind of like the face, kind of like a creative mind in this process. But B is kind of like the general, kind of like the sergeant, you know what I'm saying? And I'm kind of like that creative VP, you know what I'm saying? But B is kind of like Florentino Perez.
And the behind the scenes,
you know what I'm saying?
And that's
like
why we work so well.
CFO, Chief Executive.
And that's how we work.
It's perfect, man. It falls in perfect. He embraces that hey, in the camera, and I embrace the editing, the behind the scenes. I don't really like to. I'm on camera for the podcast. I'll step on camera, but it's not my thing. I don't want to be.
I wasn't always like that though. I wasn't always like kind of like front of the camera. Like now I don't care. Like there's like a little switch in my like brain, and I always tell the guys it's like whenever I want to like motivate them to loosen themselves up for the camera and be themselves, you know what I'm saying? Because some people freeze up whenever they see a camera. Like everybody thinks they can podcast until they put a microphone in there.
Or they second guess themselves all the time.
Yeah. So you're really thinking like, man, did I say it right?
Yeah. So what I tell the guys is like, I have this switch inside me where I can like turn it on and I can be like camera front, We're Austin TV guy, host this, host that. But then I can turn it off and I'm chill, you know what I'm saying? I can like fall back to my boys and talk to my friends. But what was I gonna say? Go ahead. Go ahead.
Well, just from building that up, then we wanted to essentially build a team. We wanted to get some friends involved and
assemble the crew.
Assemble a crew. We had some friends. I want to give shout out to Norberto. He also helps a lot with the making reels and stuff like that.
He has a great eye.
He has a great eye to capturing these moments. And he's great with the content. He helps out a lot. We got Daniel also. Danny Band's part of the team. We got
Danny made this shirt.
Dude, that's the one that shirt that popped last year. When he came out.
It was a hit.
It was a hit by
Danny
That's
Bands.
badass.
The exotic.
So, yeah, man, we've slowly been bringing in a team. We recently got Neff. Neff is new to the team. I love Neff.
Neff brings a lot of emotion.
He has like a good heart. Like he's
a teddy
bear. He's like a dude that's like, oh man,
bear.
let me give you a hug, bro.
Exactly,
you want to be here?
Bro, he's a teddy bear.
Bro, you need anything else?
Big Real Madrid fan. Actually, him and I.
Too big.
Him and I and my little brother. We're gonna go to the Clásico in
Las Vegas.
Yeah.
I got to go to the they're badass, dude. Like I went to the one in Miami.
Okay. Last time.
Yeah, and dude, they're like you guys will have fun. Like it's pretty cool.
What I was gonna say though, that I forgot was like I think where I officially lost like my stage fright, like my camera scaredy catness or whatever you want to call it, was when I was in high school, bro. There was a thing called the Spring Show at Lanier where the dance team, they had a show every year, and one of the girls had asked me if I wanted to be her, like if I wanted to be in the guy dance. One of the best dancers of the team choreographed a group of guys dancing, and we had one show there was a guy dance show every year for the Spring Show.
Remember.
And I did it.
I wish I could.
What kind of dance was this?
It was like a choreographed dance. It was like I remember it was like a
boy band style, Vogue,
BTS.
It was like on some K-pop shit.
Oh, okay. Hey, we gotta find that video.
It was like some like jerking and like some other stuff. It was what was hot at the time. What was hot at the time.
But that really popped you out of your show.
That really popped me out of my show because like the whole school was there. Like bunch of tickets would sell for these things because it would raise money for the girls, and they would be able to buy better pom-poms, better equipment, stuff like that for them whenever they travel with the football team and stuff. So it also gave you points with the girls. You know what I'm saying? So it was always
a win-win.
It was always cool to do it.
For sure.
And that's what I feel like. That's what really made me like just pop out that show. Where I kind of felt like, you know what, maybe I have a little bit more charisma than what I thought,
Right.
People always come up to me outside Q2. Not always, but there's been a lot of people that come up to me and they say, "Yo, like, you gotta give. You got something. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing."
Oh, that's awesome, dude.
And stuff like that.
That's cool. That's cool to hear, man. Like, just hearing your stories of, you know, we see y'all on the camera, on the videos, and we hear y'all on the podcast, and we think like, oh, this is natural. This comes natural to them. Mm-hmm. But hearing that backstory, it makes a difference, because myself, I'm not the most comfortable guy speaking in public, speaking on a mic, speaking in front of a camera. But this adventure with Richie has really pushed me out of that comfort zone. You know what I mean? Yeah. So
now it's funny because there's times that we're like into it and we get like pretty tipsy. Koke's like, Koke has that like.
Yeah. I'm the type to shut off eventually.
Yeah. I'm the guy that'd be like, I'll record.
No, but I like say with us is like he brings the for me it's kind of like writing or putting stuff on writing. It takes a lot from me, but he's like a natural at that.
Dude, the rundown, beautiful, bro. That
was like I told him like I give him like 2 words and he turns it into like a poem.
That's awesome, man. That was badass. Yeah.
But dude, it's one quick thing, we haven't said anything about Top Flight. Top Flight was also like one of B's ideas, because like we had an idea of like kind of making something else, you know what I'm saying? Like having another project going at the same time, because We're Austin TV, but Top Flight is also something else. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Top Flight is like the podcast that we wanted to have. Like there was a lot of Austin podcasts popping up at that time, and we were like, okay, well, we want to be a little different. And like me and a lot of other people in the group at the time wanted to have a Austin specific podcast. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And B was the one that was like, no, we should kind of think about aiming higher. We shouldn't put a roof on our head. Like we should have Austin, European, or European and Austin. And so we kind of like fought back and forth on it, but at the end of the day, we obviously came up with the Austin European segment at the end, but that was all B. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I wanted to do a podcast since before Austin FC was a thing. You know, I always kind of wanted to have a podcast because, like I explained to you before the mic, when I listened to podcasts like in 2013, you know, Joe Rogan or you know, true crime podcast, history podcast. I was just a big podcast fan. I was like, to the point where I wasn't listening to music. I was just listening to podcasts.
Listening solely to podcasts.
Solely to podcasts, bro. And I was always telling Hernan, hey, bro, listen to this show. And
like we would like look at him and be like, bro, you listen to podcasts?
Yeah, like, my friends were like, you listen to people talk? What's wrong with you? Are you crazy? I'm like, bro, I'm telling you.
I would never think of doing such a thing.
Yeah, that was the thing back.
Yeah, I was like, bro, listen, this is badass. You can learn stuff. You can laugh.
It's true.
I want to do this.
What was that first podcast that really put you on?
Joe Rogan Experience.
Joe Rogan
Experience, and then I branched out to history, to true crime podcast, to motivational podcast.
There's so much content out there.
Comedian podcast.
Those are good.
Laugh podcast. I mean,
other
I went
sports podcasts.
Sports podcast, ESPN FC.
Talk
Caught
Sport.
Offside. My podcast list is just like, I mean, and and I was like, man, I want to do this one day. And it's always been a dream of me. And when Austin FC came up, where Austin TV was created, me and H kind of build a team. We're like, we got to do a podcast, bro. And the reason why I say this, because we would always hang out and drink beers with the friends, like you mentioned earlier. We'd have beers. We'd like, oh, the semifinals of the Champions League is up. Like, Bayern, Real Madrid. Pinche Madrid. Like, el Bayern se los va a chingar. And
we would have a podcast without knowing it.
And I would be like, bro, we have to record these. We have to, make this into a thing. And then Austin FC came around, and we had the opportunity to start when I was like, bro, we got to... Austin FC is what we love. It's our city. But we got to bring up also the true passion of us following European clubs. So that's why, hence the name Top Flight, which is like another word for like top tier, like, first division, I guess. Is another
best teams in the world. Best leagues in the world. Top Flight.
Top Flight. So like USL isn't Top Flight. Championship is second division, so it's not Top Flight. So we named it Top Flight. Everything. MLS is Top Flight.
Yeah.
And
Liga MX is Top Flight.
So it came from that, bro.
That's Top Flight, and We're Austin TV is fan reactions. It's the page on Instagram that you see, the graphics, the stats,
the vlogs.
We want to be a page that just produces content in stat graphics and vlogs.
With content, bro. We fell in love with just making content.
And now we're at a point that if we stop, we kind of owe people stuff.
Yeah.
Right. You feel like you owe the community.
We owe them.
Yeah,
we can't stop now.
Talk to us a little bit about that. You guys have grown in such such different directions and, well, more or less same visions but different types of media outlets. What have been some of the growing pains in like adopting so many things to the point where you feel like, damn, if I don't put out, like I owe something.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely a balance. I mean, we got jobs, we got families, we got day jobs, and we do this extra because we love to do it. And like whenever there's a show where like, man, you know what, like we got something coming up, it's like, nah, we'll move it to Monday. We'll do it Monday. We'll record Monday. We'll come in later. It's like, oh, okay, esta pasa, or something comes up. No, well, then we'll do it Saturday. It's just something engraved in us that we're like, we got to like.
You feel the commitment,
yeah.
You
gotta
feel the commitment. You know what I mean? And if I'm kind of slacking down as far as the work rate, because I'm tired or whatever, H kind of like helps me like, hey, bro, it's okay. Like we got it. We'll come up. And then when H feels the same, when he's kind of slowing down, I'm like, hey, bro, it's okay. We kind of help each other out in that sense.
Because you guys record after the games.
We record
for the most part.
We record right after the games for the fan reactions.
Yeah.
And then this is why I love Saturday games, bro. Saturday games, I love them so much. That's why the new schedule, which is going to be every Saturday.
Oh, every Saturday for the Apple TV?
To me, I was like, let's go. Because
that does help us out a lot.
That helps us out so much because
because Monday for sure we go into work.
It's tough. We gotta go to work. So Saturday nights games, we get drunk. It's okay because we got a stabilizer. So if I'm like kind of tipsy, it stabilizes the camera. So está bien. You will get the fan reaction.
If only our lives had stabilizers.
The next day I try not to get too lit. So because the next day we got to get up and record the podcast, and then I spend my Sunday nights editing fan reactions in the podcast. Having another beer or a snack or something, and
whatever's available.
I fell in love with the simple desk, computer, headphones, and just editing, cutting it up, because I'm excited to drop it on Monday, drop the fan reactions, because the feedback has been amazing. Like the fans love us because they've been saying that we're like the voice of the people, and to me that's like amazing. The Top Flight episodes get love, and I see the growth. And I told the guys with this podcast game, because they see me as, because I've been listening to podcasts for a while. They see me as like, the podcast game is about longevity, bro. Longevity and consistency is the two keys to the podcast.
Right.
If you're consistent and you're aiming for the long run, it's okay. As long as the wheels are turning, está bien. We're not gonna experience like this overwhelming amount of like views. We don't even see that. All we care about is episode every week. Boom, boom.
The consistency,
boom.
the commitment to your audience, for sure.
When we completed 50 episodes, we had like a little thing at the studio. We had champagne, and it was just a moment.
Even though we got smacked.
Even though we got it killed. It
was
killed
it Chile, the Pachuca game, right?
Yeah, it ruined. I think it was Galaxy.
Galaxy.
It was Galaxy, bro.
Yeah.
It killed it. I was like, damn. We had balloons and everything. We were like,
but we lost.
Bali was mad.
Bali
he took
was
his
mad.
hat off and threw it. Bali was mad.
So yeah, man, consistency.
It is
and
a lot of
longevity.
hard work.
It's a lot of
like
work,
this.
bro.
I don't give a fuck,
work,
bro.
It is.
Yeah, that's Bali, man. And shout out Bali, man. Bali has been a big factor in our he brings so much more. Like he doesn't, he's not involved as far as like the edits in the video, but his attitude, his vibe, his
spirit.
His spirit is
his
amazing,
aura.
bro.
His aura.
Whenever I've been knowing Bali since high school too, just sophomore high school, and when I see him like without the mic, with no cameras around him, the Bali you see on camera, bro, the Bali you see on the mic, that's Bali, bro.
Yeah.
That's Bali off camera.
That's the way he is.
That's him. This is the way he is. And I told him, I was like, bro, we're gonna have a podcast. I want you on that seat. He's like, I was like, bro, I'm like, be yourself, bro. Be yourself. And he provides so much in that. Like I love Bali, bro. Bali's my boy, and he is the type of person that like the fans need to hear what he's got to say, bro.
I do got a feeling like hopefully this will never happen. But if Bali ever like goes somewhere else and gets paid millions, like,
he would be the guy.
He'll take the hit.
He would be the guy. He would be the guy to do that, man.
The reason why, and then he'll take all his fans with him.
He's a great person, man. He's a teddy bear. I know you see him, he gets emotional. He sees it, but he's a sweetheart, man. He's a badass.
He's also an Arsenal fan, so he's stressing.
Yeah, he's stressing.
I mean, Arsenal fans be stressing.
Yeah, it's been a while since they felt joy.
Bali's cool though, man. But just like B said, it is a lot of hard work, and just like he said, like it was kind of like a positive note of what he was saying, but people also got to see like the negative side of things too. Well, not negative, but it's also like a sacrifice because, you sacrifice multiple weekends, either editing or making like a graphic or getting ready with show notes for this episode, or you're gonna get ready to guest on this podcast, or you got to save money to go on this trip to get vlog content. You know what I'm saying? So there's definitely things that you miss out on. You know what I'm saying? Like your friends go out and they have fun in these places, and
I try to go out too.
And like there's like sometimes where it's like 1 or 2 in the morning, and I'm like locked in doing something on my laptop, and then I just like step back, and I'm like, damn, bro, another Saturday, and I'm here at home. Like, fuck.
It is tough. It is tough.
And I live far, so it's not like, oh, I can like go downtown in 20 minutes. No, I live far, bro.
Yeah.
Even Elgin.
Oh yeah, you live in Elgin.
Yeah.
No,
I live in Elgin.
It's tough. It's tough. Like what our audiences see is like an hour and a half of content, but all the time behind that, dude.
There's times where I stay up like 1 a.m. editing on Sunday night, just trying to, because the content is amazing. Like the Houston game where we vlogged, the fan reactions were amazing, the pod was amazing, and it's just like, this needs to happen. I'm always it needs to happen. So I would wake up, go to work tired, but when you love what you do, it helps. Plus, knowing the grind is, I'm a type of person that loves the grind, bro. I love the grind. If I have to like put my gloves on and be like, all right, this is gonna be work, it's gonna suck, it's gonna be uncomfortable, but I enjoy it, and I know it's one day it's gonna pay off, and I'll do it. I'm not scared of that. And what I tell myself is that I'm blessed to have the opportunity to be able to do something with friends that I've been knowing for years, that I consider family, to chase a dream. Like I said, I could have a child and have a mortgage one day and have to focus on providing, but to have the opportunity to do something that I love, to chase a dream, I'm blessed, man.
For sure. Well said. Before we go any further, do you guys mind taking a little break?
Yeah, that's fine.
Let's go into the Twitter space.
Oh, okay.
Because you guys do pull a good amount of people there.
Yeah.
And I've noticed actually even people from the stadium actually like have joined.
Yeah. We were the first one we did. We were surprised, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it was like 100 and like.
We were one of the first ones to kind of
just
come
make
out
that
with
a
some.
thing.
I remember the club came out with some too. Like they
tried, but they were like.
It's one of Twitter's newer updates.
Yeah.
So like not
features.
the people that have actually hopped and embraced it, they've created something out of it. Usually,
we have a rhythm down now, man. People want it. Like people are asking, when's the Twitter space?
Where the fuck is my Twitter space,
exactly.
Because the thing is like everybody wants to talk after the game.
It's because
and
they can desahogar.
Yeah.
Ahí sale la emoción, bro.
Yeah.
Ahí sale la emoción.
And that's also one thing that kind of like why we started a page, is because we knew that people were going to want to talk.
Yeah.
Fans are very passionate.
Yeah.
Everybody has a voice. Everybody wants to talk about the game. You know what I'm saying? So we might as well capture it. That's what we want to do. We want to capture the fan leaving the games. You know what I'm saying? And whenever we're away from home, the perfect place to do it is on the Twitter space.
Yeah.
So shout out to Twitter for that new feature, and it allows you to record it now. So what we do is we record them, and then for the fans that miss out on those Twitter spaces, later on, like
They can hear
the next morning, I retweet it, and it comes fresh on their timeline, and it's kind of like a podcast. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of also why we do. We just want to put as much content out as we can.
We love content, bro. It's just
For sure.
I
No,
love
and
so
it
much
shows.
things.
It shows with the amount of content you put out, but specifically in the fan reactions, man. So I kind of look at We Are Us and TV, the video fan reactions. That was kind of like an in-person thing, and the Twitter Spaces become the same thing, but in a digital sense.
Yeah.
So like you guys capture so many candid post-game reactions, right? What are some of the more memorable experiences that you guys have? Because I know y'all have plenty. Y'all have plenty.
Here's one that I probably like. Besides that, what was like besides the most memorable? What has been the most challenging with a fan? Because I know after the game, people are tipsy, and there can be like some people talking shit. What could be like?
They're in their feels.
Yeah.
We've had some stuff that we couldn't put out, like some fans that are either too drunk. We don't want to like Austin, we don't want to like
put them in a bad spot.
Exactly. So stuff like that. Some stuff that are like we had an incident with and to be fair, he was on top. He was drunk. Everybody was drunk.
I think you're gonna say
Pollo. Pollo.
El Trevor.
That video was pretty damn cool though.
And I it was amazing because I cut it up and
the sirens in the background.
The sirens. I cut it up.
Yeah.
Look, man, and I'm glad you bring this up because I want to say this too. We're Austin TV, the fan reactions. We don't control what people say. Like,
yeah,
we give first.
We went through a lot in the beginning because obviously the fan reactions reflect on the team. If the team is doing poor, the fans have stuff to say. If the team is doing well, they have good things to say. And in the first season, obviously, we had kind of a rough season, and a lot of fans were really upset, and they were like drunk, and they're like, "Man, this is unacceptable. I have to go to work tomorrow, and we lost 3-0 or whatever, and this sucks. Get Wolf out, like stuff like that."
Yeah.
And we got a lot of heat from fans
because
like,
people thought it was like our opinion. It's like, no, we're kind of just like a highway.
Yeah.
We're a platform for any fan. Like, we would love to have a fan that disagrees with the person who just went on. Like, it doesn't matter what you have to say. Come in here. We're the voice of the fan. If you have something that you've been thinking about during the game, it's like, man, I want to tell people about this. I feel really strongly about this. Stop by the fan reaction and say it. No matter what. We don't dictate what people say. What people say are the reflections of the game and the team. Like, if the team does well, we scored 3 goals, 4 goals. Everybody's happy. It's like, man, this is amazing.
Drusi.
Exactly.
But if we lose 4-0,
this is unacceptable. I can't. This sucked.
It's gonna be severe.
So people were like, man, we got a lot of hate in the beginning. It's like, man, you should stop posting.
Stop doing this.
Stop doing this.
Toxic.
Like, don't talk. We're just the platform. We want to give the fans a platform to speak their mind. We don't control what they say. We don't say anything. We're just a reflection. We're like a conduit for them to speak their word.
The thing is that what most captures people's attention and what creates the most hype is when someone does some off the wall shit or is really critical.
Yeah.
Even if you don't agree with it, it'll make you react, and you're gonna want to click on that and repost it, comment, say, "Hey, you're fucking up" or something like.
Yeah. And the beautiful thing about that is when that happens, it happens organically. Like, we were in the interview. We were interviewing Kako, and then Pollo came up, and he was upset because it was a tough game. We lost, and everybody was upset. And he was like, he was drunk. Everybody was drunk, and he was just like yelling, "Ah, man!" Like giving a shit, like, "Man, fuck that, fuck this and that," and then he was getting really loud, and
it wouldn't stop.
It wouldn't stop. Like, we were letting him let it out. It's okay, let it out.
Yeah, we had like stopped. We're like, all right, bro, just keep going. Sorry, let it out.
And then even Hernan said, yeah, he's Wolf fan. Like, he's Wolf fan. It's okay. Like, if he's Wolf fan, you want to jump on the mic? He's like, nah, man, fuck your shit, this and that, and
Oh, that's when he came and he said, "Hey, my bad." After the Atlas game,
he apologized, and it's good. It's good.
It's
we
never
villainized him, or we never did anything. We understood. It's emotion. People are drunk. People have to work the next day. It is what it is. And but yeah, that was another one. And then other stuff happens where it just captures organically. And like,
there was a moment, like one of the tougher ones, like you said, was one of the tough situations was whenever Atlas came. That was a tough.
You were surfing through their supporters.
That was scary.
Yeah. So we used to do fan reactions at the Northwest Gate, but it was too chill. So we were like, now we're gonna go to the Zebra Gate. So we went to the Zebra Gate, and that's where we've been doing fan reactions at the mural from now on. And the away supporters come out through there, right? That's where they go to their cars or their Ubers, wherever, right? And that day for the Atlas game, Atlas fans, they're rowdy, they're crazy. Bro. Everybody knows that. And that day, I honestly, when we started doing the fan reactions, I didn't know what was gonna happen, bro. I didn't know what to expect because I had never dealt with a porra from Mexico.
Yeah,
and I didn't know what to expect, and they were out of control. They had just won a championship in a very long time, so they were off the walls, and they were very young, so they were very energetic. Like, it was a group of young Atlas fans, and they had smokes.
Yeah,
and one of them lit up a smoke, and it just consumed me and this kid the one that was on the mic.
And me on the camera is like,
it just consumed, and you can kind of hear on the mic. It picks me up. I like almost choke. Like, I like breathe in. It's kind of like if I was choking. I'm like,
oígame, no. Está ahogando.
And I'm like, oh shit. And then the smoke finally clears. But like the whole time we were on edge because we really just didn't know what was going to happen. But there was security there all the time, but that wasn't on my mind. Like, the only thing that I could think of was like, I'm surrounded by Atlas fans. At any moment, anything can happen.
I was scared they were going to like grab the mic and like yank the camera out of my hands. And like, we were like in an environment where like let's be cool. Like, let them have their thing. We don't want to, mess with them. It's like, let them have their fun. And, it ended up being great. It
was also one time where two Austin FC fans fought each other.
Yeah.
What?
Two Austin FC fans fought. Like, one of them went on the mic first, gave his take, and then the other one went on. But the one that had just got off the mic kind of stayed and lingered for a bit because it's like a little chill spot. And then the second guy that was giving his take gave a different take, and the first guy heard something of it. and they started arguing when the second guy got off the mic. So it was two guys with two different takes wearing the same jersey that disagreed, and they started fighting. And they went at it hard, bro. I'm telling you, they went at it hard.
To be fair, they
were drunk. They were drunk.
Drinks, and people leave the stadium. They have beer. They're having a good time, and things happen like that. And of course, we didn't put that. We didn't put that up there.
We're gonna have to start putting some green gloves.
I think that's the first time I met y'all in person.
Yeah.
I had to go in and break the fight.
Because we interviewed you after, and you were like,
hey, what's up, dude? And I see the fight. All right, let me go break this up really quick. And I come back and I'm like, and then you asked me, whooping war. I'm like, man, give Wolf some time. And I was pretty tipsy too.
I remember
I have like a vault of like footage. I'm like,
there was blood on the floor too.
Yeah.
Shit.
Cops got there late. And
they asked you like everything good. You're like, oh, we're good. Somebody fell. My friend fell, and they're like, okay,
we're good, sir. And he was like, y'all need some beer? He asked us if we want a beer, and I was so confused. That was one of the tougher times.
But now the Atlas. So the reason why I was like, hopefully you guys were gonna bring Atlas out because you guys are the guys that are down with the raza. Like, I mean, you guys have. We
have that culture.
You have that culture, and you guys can understand it. And people, and I'm pretty sure whenever you guys came and were in it, like in the middle of them, there was no animosity from y'all.
Not at all.
Because they can perceive that shit. They can.
We even told them felicidades, campeones.
Yeah. And once they hear that, they're like, they don't care.
Yeah. They were feeling us.
Yeah.
They were like. We tell them, hey, campeones after 77 years or whatever, and okay,
Because I would say you handled it pretty well because I feel like that brought you guys to another level of fan reactions.
Yeah.
Because
we want to interview away fans, bro. We want to have their experience.
Hopefully one day, I guess we can get people from Dallas and Houston.
One time the Tigres. This is crazy how all the Liga MX teams. The Tigres game. We had some.
I was in Florida.
I saw that.
I was in Florida.
He was on vacation, so I stepped in and did the fan reactions myself, and there was some drunk Tigres fans that kind of. There's a girl that was like trying to yank the mic out of my hand, and I was like not letting her. Like we're like, no.
Güey, tú es una cosa, güey. La carne asada y tigres, güey. Tigres.
She was cussing, and I was like, stop. I like yanked it away from her, and like she grabbed a flag of another fan, started stepping on it. It was just like hectic. Yeah. People were screaming, and then
that was also during the time that the Cuba thing was going on, and like some girl on the video, she dropped like some words. She was like, save Cuba, help Cuba. It was just a mix of it. It was crazy. That video was one of the craziest.
It's one of our most watched videos.
Really?
Atlas Tigres.
Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado. Towards the end, there was this
Colorado
guy.
Here or there?
Colorado over there when Danny Pereira gave Bali the jersey. Yeah, that was like a legendary moment.
Towards the end, there was a guy that was like, man, F Austin. Tigres all the way. And I was like, where are you from? I was like, Austin. I'm like, what part of Austin? It's like, East side, ATX, East side, ATX. And I was like, so Tigres? Like, yeah, Tigres. But like, bro, you're from
Austin.
You're repping East side ATX is where you're from. And you're like, it is what it is, bro.
It is what it is.
It can happen, bro. Like, I'm from Houston. I don't rep Houston Dynamo.
Yeah, I feel you.
I rep Boston.
I used to back in the days, but then I converted. I went to church and I
saw the light.
I saw the light.
Saw the fucking light.
Yeah, but we definitely capture a lot of stuff.
You guys do. You guys do. It's been amazing to see.
Everybody's been good.
It's amazing. It's been amazing to see the growth and the amount of different perspectives that you guys capture. And really, like, I just have to commend you guys on your platforms. I mean, y'all really helped audiences kind of discover and immerse themselves in that football world that we all know and love, whether it be local or international. What have you learned throughout this process? What are some of the more things that you're like, damn, dude, I didn't expect to like get this learning experience out of it?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely learned a lot of editing skills, a lot of editing, a lot of Photoshop. I started to make reels recently, and I've been in love with making reels.
You're
and stuff
real,
like
man.
That. Yeah,
you keep it
real. Learning skills is, I guess, the main thing for me. Learning these skills to be able to create art, I guess, in a sense. Editing videos and putting out content. It's like an art. So
do you think it has something to do with your your profession as a tradesman, as someone like
Yes,
that works,
yes,
that has to
because-
constantly
yes.
think of different things and how to figure solutions
I
out.
take pride in the work that I do because I want it to look good. You know, I run conduit, I pull wire, everything, and it's just like I'm a perfectionist in a way of like, you know, if something's off, like, man, I don't like that. I gotta fix that little thing. It's like, well, it's not. It's just, it's okay. No, I need to like. I'm that type. I'm like a detailist person. I'm like, that just bothers me. I need to fix it. If it doesn't really like, oh, this is perfect, then I won't post it or I won't, you know, do it. So, you know, just skills, I guess, essentially. I don't know.
For me, what I've learned is kind of like networking skills. I've learned like the guys know me to be as like I'm the one that's social, so they don't have to be.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I'll jump into the pool of like conversations with people that, you know, aren't necessarily like kind of like in our friends pool. You know what I'm saying? And I have conversations with X person, so we can have X person on the podcast, or I'll like go out and I'll talk to the head of media, or Austin FC, or I'll send out the email, or I'll how can I say it? Like I'm just kind of like I'm like the
representative.
I'm like the representative. I'm like the representative.
That's
The
that's
PR.
beautiful.
Yeah, and I've definitely learned how to like navigate certain waters. I've learned different networking skills, like I said, and also skills on making edits and stuff like that, and just being consistent, building something, having like an end goal, having a dream, having like a hobby that you're trying to turn into your career or your job in the future. But mainly I would say networking skills, man. Networking skills and just knowing that everybody's human, man. Knowing everybody's human, no matter what title they have. If you have that it factor, you can walk into any room and sit down at any table and have a conversation with any person. You know what I'm saying? You just have to make them feel comfortable with you.
Yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
That's
some people just kind of like see somebody's title and they just like fall under the pressure. They say like, oh man, this person is this. Like I'm not gonna be able to
Put them on a pedestal in some way.
yeah. And I mean, I'm kind of like the kind of person where, I mean, I'm gonna just give it a shot. You know what I'm saying? Like if you wanna like talk to me like that, then cool, we could be buds. If not, we're just gonna keep it business. You know what I'm saying? But I've also been able to like read people a lot better by their body language and stuff like that, especially during like a podcast. You know, especially Top Flight. If I see Bali in like some type of way, I know what to ask him. I know what not to
That's
ask
good.
him.
For
If I see that B had one too many to drink and he's a little hungover, I know that he's not going to be talkative. You know what I'm saying? So I throw it to Bali.
And that goes back to when I said originally is like that's why me and him click, man, because because of me. If it were to me, it's like, hey, like there's that guy, he has this. You go talk. I'm like it ain't just like let me go talk to him. And like that's the difference in me and like we both attribute things in like different areas that click together. It like makes it whole thing. It's like you know if there's someone's like oh no mira like I thought you know like habla con él and this and that and that's the beautiful thing about it, man. That's why we click so well.
Like at the event, the Q2 event where the players meet and greet, the signing, we went to go see we were at the Cascante, Danny, Kip, and Charlie Asensio line. We were like one of the first ones. We got our signature right, and then we were chilling at the Lexus Club or whatever. I think that's the Lexus Club or the Captain Morgan.
Captain Morgan. I think.
But I was there chilling, and I was getting like a little video because the mission for me was yes, I could. We were gonna meet the players, but I was there on a mission to get content.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Like I was literally there to get and I got a shitload of videos, and whenever I was getting one of the videos, one of the guys, one of the big dogs that works for Austin FC, comes up to me and he like taps me on the shoulder and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? But that's like a relationship that I built. Yeah. I didn't know this guy whenever we started this, and this is a relationship that I built with him. You know what I'm saying? Because I know who he is and what position he is, and I know that if we want to have a good time doing what we do with the content, I know that this person has to be somebody that we kind of got to keep on our like side. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely real easy to like mess up whenever you're doing these pieces of content, because I've seen a lot of pages put out slander content and they get shut down really bad. You know what I'm saying? Because the club's PR doesn't like that. So you kind of learn to see what these people like.
And also on that, like fans that put slander stuff, they're not really fans of the club. Like they just want like something to blow up or like likes. Like
they want the quick, like you said earlier.
Yeah.
All we talk about and all we really emphasis on is just soccer. Yeah. All we talk about is just soccer.
And we're actual fans of the club. Like we love the club. If something comes up that like, oh man, that hurts us. So why would we why do we contribute to this thing that's hurting the club that we love? So like, you know, people that do all kinds of slander and like stuff that just like poke fun or like, you know, just hate. It's not what we do. It's like, you know, we don't need that. We also love the club.
Right. And one thing that I noticed, say for example, with Top Flight, because I've listened to like the episodes from the beginning and like now, I've seen how Koke was saying the polished content. It's how at first a lot of it felt like it was like going back and forth at it, you know, and then it turned into like an analysis of the actual game. Yes, you can still have your emotions about it, but you're analyzing the game. You're letting people know like you actually know what you're talking about instead of just like fuck you, no, fuck you, you know. So that I mean, both are good regardless. But I mean, you guys have grown in a way where people actually feel like, man, these guys are. Yeah, they know about
also, bro, one thing that I've also learned is like to appreciate people's time. Like I know that when we put like out a piece of content, if we put out an hour-long podcast, an hour and a half or whatever, somebody out there is going to listen to that whole thing, or somebody's going to listen to it halfway and then come back tomorrow or finish off their day and listen to the other half, or on the way to work listen to it, on the way back finish it. You know what I'm saying? Whenever they go back home. So I really try to like put an emphasis on being kind of like entertaining to the people out there.
Right, giving them value because you're creating an intimate relationship with them.
Yeah,
and their daily routine. Yeah,
and I've told the guys like a bunch of times when I see like especially at the beginning when like guys like Bali like both B and I, we knew that Bali has something in him. You know what I'm saying? And he has like that stardom in him. That's like stardom inside him. Like he has that like it factor. You know what I'm saying? He's different.
There's something there.
There's something there. People like what he says. They agree with his takes. And so with a guy like Bali, what I was trying to say is like he's just talented in his like own way. You know what I'm saying? And damn it, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, plus like what you were saying is like at the beginning we were like, you know.
Okay, I
like,
found it. Okay, thank you. At the beginning, like what I really put an emphasis on to the guy, especially like Bali, like trying to get that out of him was like, just don't be embarrassed. Don't be afraid. Like there's always going to be that person that's going to walk by us doing like reactions, interviews, and they're going to like look at us funny. Like, what are you doing? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I kept telling him, like, I kept put a big emphasis on just being a creative person and just ignoring these negative things that might come your way. And whenever you sit down to do a podcast, just really sit down and do a podcast and really deliver a good product, because somebody out there is going to listen to it and they're going to think like, wow, this show was good. Wow, or man, this show was bad. Like there's somebody from LA, shout out to my boy Chila from LA, Sin Filtro. He doesn't know us. We've only met through content that we make. And he said, he was like, man, whenever I watch y'all's podcast, like I really feel like you guys are in a studio somewhere. Like you guys really, you guys take yourselves super serious. Like y'all are like, y'all act like y'all are some big wig news anchors or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just have this kind of swagger. Yeah. And like it's funny that he would say that, because like I would try to tell the guys to let's give off that kind of perception. Like whoever watches us, they don't know where we are. They don't know where we shoot. They don't know who we are. They just know that we're some content creators. They know that we're making these videos. So give them a show. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know anything about you. So it's like you start from zero. You know what I'm saying? So just put on a entertaining piece out there of whatever you make, and people will really appreciate that. And just don't be embarrassed. Don't be embarrassed. Come out your shell, man.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, the beginning, to your point, I mean, the first episode, we were like, all right, are we recording? Yeah, probably F you, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So, episode 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you know, we're growing, like I said to the boys, like I preach to them, is like, this is longevity. Like, consistency and longevity is the key to Top Flight. And as we're growing, we're getting better and better and better and better. And like, you know, 10 episodes ago, we're way better than we were 20, 30, you know. So we're blessed to be at 50, and we hope to reach 100. And hopefully at 100, we're even more polished.
Road to 1,000 subs, though. Road to 1,000 subs. Road to 1,000 subs.
That's a big goal for
us.
Road
to 1,000 subs.
Segura, bro. Segura.
Road to 1,000. We're at like 412. We're climbing. We're climbing.
That's probably
on YouTube.
Our biggest goal right now as a collective is to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube.
Instagram's good. Like Instagram, we just can't wait to hit 10K. It's just, I think that's just based off of like the graphics and the stuff that we
reels.
post.
I love making reels.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with
Reels have been a hit for us. We're really trying to get into TikTok. We're really trying to push some Spanish.
You're gonna be doing
content.
dances. Like you're gonna pull out the Hernan from 2000.
Hey, throwback.
2005 and do
Don't
the.
make me bring him back.
Hey, man,
Don't make
he
me
has
bring
it.
him back.
Let me try to find some photos, man.
Don't make me bring him back, bro. Don't make me bring
Hey,
him
the
back.
new Beyonce just dropped, bro.
Another reason why, and Shakira's single. So.
Hey.
Drake's album too, man.
Yeah. Hey, this is a dancing summer, so if there's any time to
I
come
like
out,
the album. A lot of people were like, "This is trash." I'm like, man, I love
hey,
this album.
give it
man.
a shot, man. Give it a shot.
Yeah,
Now, well, I
man.
appreciate you guys. You guys, the growth that we've seen has been amazing. The content that you guys bring has been amazing, and you guys have the best script writers that this earth could have with the Premier League, with La Liga, with the MLS. What happened last season? Crazy.
It was-
Champions League,
yeah.
fucking crazy.
Yeah, it
like
was-
Premier League, insane. Like it. You guys have there's that creative impetus there, and you guys are bringing the show to the people.
And
So
before Austin FC, it was that.
Yeah.
Like we Champions League, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Arsenal. That was what we were you have some beers and like talk shit about. So Austin FC came into our lives, which is amazing, and we're on that. But we would also want to capture what we love.
I tell people this when they ask me that all the time. It's like I can't remember a time in my life that I was not concerned with the football score, like with the soccer match score. Like ever since I was a kid, like I clearly remember the moment I decided I was gonna be a Chivas fan. I was maybe like 6 or 7 years old. I was very, very, very young. And ever since that moment, like it's always, if I don't watch a game, it's always like, Sundays you would watch República
Deportiva.
República
Con
Deportiva.
Fernando Fiore.
Las senadoras.
That's where you caught up with everything. That's where you know, if like you had to go to a quinceañera that weekend de tu prima and you couldn't watch X game, you know, you would watch that show Sunday and you would get caught up with everything. With
Shout
everything.
out.
You know?
Shout out to them, dude.
Contacto
Contacto Deportivo at 10 o'clock.
That was,
You know what I'm
that was
saying?
like
So-
Telefutura, man. That was right before the 2002 World Cup.
And then that and then school.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It was
And
a
then-
ritual. It was
and
a
then
ritual.
you would like go to school that next day and the main topic would either be like WWE Raw, the soccer game. Did you see like SmackDown? You know what I'm saying? That would be like the main topics with the homies.
Yeah.
And that's what we want. Like when people see our content, when people watch our videos, like we've been fans of this sport since we were little kids. bro.
Because
So
you guys know, like,
we know.
Yeah.
Always
the
been
vibe.
concerned. I've always been concerned about it.
And Austin FC came in our lives, and that's great. But we haven't. It's not Austin FC that we've been fans of the sport for.
Also, bro. Also, Austin is our city. Like we're from Austin.
Yeah.
Like I feel like whenever we first started with Austin TV, like there was some people that worked for the club that didn't like the way that we were putting out our content because they couldn't necessarily control it. Austin FC is a club that likes to control a lot of things. They like to be in control of a lot of things, and it's cool. It's cool. They
It's
run
their
a
brand.
they run a tight ship. But they didn't like the fact that they couldn't control this page with Austin TV, and we had a lot of struggles at first. Not anymore. Now it's a smooth sail. Smooth sail. We love it. But at first it was very different. But I guess they just didn't understand the fact that we were from Austin and we were bound to find out stuff, even if we didn't.
They came
without
to our
trying.
city, bro. They came
They
to
came
us.
to our
They
city,
came
bro.
to us.
they came to your block. Not
They
just
came to our block,
They came to
bro.
your block.
Our
Literally,
block.
we rode bikes where it used to be like a pit of tires.
Yeah.
When they built Q2, we would like, hey, where you want to jump the fence? Like, hey, let's jump the fence, and we jumped the fence.
And it's like you don't want me to report on this, bro. Like this is my city.
Yeah.
This is
You
our
came
block,
here,
bro.
you know what I'm saying?
You're not even from here, G. You're not even from here, bro. And you're gonna tell me how to act in my zip code. In my area code.
78758.
In the 58. In the 58. You know what I'm saying? In the 58.
So one thing that like you were mentioning earlier is you have to know how to navigate. You have to know how to talk to and stay, like say, not kiss ass, but you know, be somehow cordial and you know, like okay, you burn this bridge and there goes your stuff.
It's not worth it, bro.
And it's not worth it. And I think like a lot of people that I saw, you know, that would start banter like shit and just, you know, like talk shit. It was just like nah, dude, they're not there. You can always see it from the beginning. Like, nah, it's gonna be one or two things and that's it.
Yeah.
But you guys have learned how to get that, you know, that high from the person up there in marketing.
Yeah.
Get that acknowledgement from them because it's good. Like say, something new. Like we've never dealt. I think I was talking to Kako one day, and I'm like, okay, when was the last time before this you were friends with a professional soccer player? When was the last time you were, you know, the head of marketing, the head of, you know, this part of the club will say hi to you and, hey, how's it going? You know, outside of the team, you know,
Different times.
And you guys are actually like the way you guys are doing it. It's great because you're still giving your perspective about the game. You're still saying your point of view. At the end of the day, like they have to understand that, hey, people have point of views and you cannot control that. You cannot control that. What people want to say about it, and sometimes you got to take that, you know, that shit, and you know, either you take that shit and build a castle with it, or you take that shit and eat it. Like, what do you want to do?
One thing also, bro, like whenever you run a page like with Austin TV, you can't fall in love with the player because we are probably gonna be here forever. Maybe, I mean, I don't want to like put like an anchor in Austin. Like we can go anywhere we want.
We're here for the long run.
Yeah. We're most likely going to be in Austin for a very long time. You know, the people sitting here right now, the players playing for Austin FC, they might not be here in the next 2-3 years, right?
Yeah. It's a fluid market.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So a lot of the time, one of the struggles that we found real quick, I want to touch on it, is the fact that you can't sugarcoat like a lot of you can't sugarcoat anything. Like one of the main things that I like about B and his style of takes is like B's not that guy that's like, oh, like I'm chilling with this player, or like, oh, I'm out here taking a photo with this player. Like he's real, like non-biased facts, soccer numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then there's guys like Primo, Bali, Neff, or whatever that if they have like a soft side for X like player, and they'll defend them hands, teeth, nails. You know what I'm saying?
And it's good to have both.
It is good to have both, and that's why we have two different takes. You know what I'm saying? So then B. Bali would say something, and then B will be like, yeah. Defend your friend. Defend your friend. Defend your friend. That's your boy. That's your boy.
And he'd be like, man, my boy told me. And then Bali like, man, my boy told me, man. Hey, I got this, bro. I'm gonna shut him down, bro. Watch this. Watch me come through next season, bro.
That's called being blinded by love. You know what I mean?
So that's like, something that you got to be careful with.
Yeah. Is it? Are you a fan of the player or a fan of the club?
Yeah,
that's what
the club. At the end of the day, you got to be a fan of the club.
I think you guys come from a club side.
I was a Spurs fan, bro. San Antonio Spurs fan, NBA.
Was?
Well, okay, I'm sorry. I am.
Whoa.
I stopped watching NBA, to be honest. I kind of fell off the NBA train a little bit. I didn't even,
because soccer has taken over.
It's taken over.
Yeah,
it's like it's over.
We're gonna get to
what I mean? So, you know, getting back to the whole team, is Spurs was like a team. It was a system. It was a team. The team,
right.
No star player. It was
no star player.
It was pass the ball fundamentals, and that's the way I like to see it. It's like, you know, it was the Spurs versus LeBron James. Like, no, it was the Spurs versus the Heat. It's like I'm not a LeBron James or the Spurs. I'm the team.
That 05, you know.
Yeah.
And then, dude, I remember we were in 05, like going in the Europe walk, and there was a final.
Yeah.
And the Spurs won that final, and they had like that, you know, everybody after the game just like going in their trucks.
Se llama fiesta, bro. They do a fiesta.
That's pretty badass.
When they honk.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of cholos in San Antonio.
They had a good run. They had a good
Puro
fucking
pinche
run.
barrio,
yeah, se cayó, man. Kawhi Leonard left, and it's just it is what it
¿Vas a una chévere, Koke?
But yeah, man.
I never really. I mean, I was a little bit of a basketball fan back in the day. I won my first pair of Jordans from the finals of the Pistons versus the Lakers, back when like
04.
Richard Fox was playing for the Lakers.
Richard Fox, holy shit.
That's like 04. That's
Richard Fox.
my
That's his name,
graduation year.
Richard Fox.
From high school.
I remember one of my relatives. He was like dope boy in the game. Like he was slanging, you know, back in the day. And we had bet that if the Lakers won, that I was gonna watch his Lincoln Navigator, and that if the Pistons won, he was gonna buy me some J's. I was like, bet. Pistons won.
That Pistons was a team. There was no star player in that Pistons team.
Yeah, it was Chauncey Wallace, Richard Hamilton, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace.
Yeah, it was just a bunch of fucking defensive motherfuckers.
Yeah, that's how I see sports, bro. I see it as a team effort. No one stands above, like, you know.
And that's why we clown on Houston, because Houston swears that they're this and that, but they're putting so much emphasis on like one player, and he hasn't played yet.
Yeah. When we went to go to the Houston way, a game where we won, where Dennis scored his first goal. Everywhere. Acha, everywhere. It was like the
everywhere.
only thing they had.
You cannot have that. That's not healthy, dude.
He's not even there
That's
yet.
not healthy.
Yeah,
even
well,
there. He's not even there.
that just goes to the team and marketing and what they think is gonna make them the most money. So it's a money move.
When that happened, I was like, good. It almost makes me appreciate Austin more because you look at the mentality of the clubs. Like Houston's thinking about bringing a Mexican big name player to attract maybe more fans. Austin's like, no, we're trying to build a squad.
It's a team.
It's you know, if
Wolf ball.
If a player comes and brings that extra, that's fine. But it's not something that we look first. We don't look for a player like, oh, is he gonna bring tickets and fans? No, what can he do on the field? And that's why I love the club, bro.
That's what we got Drusi and Achache.
Yeah, and I think it was like a lot of people are actually understanding that a little more because the second season we're actually doing better than the first season. The first season for me was kind of like
it was understandable.
It was understandable, like dude.
My opinion.
It's you can't expect much from a team that hasn't even played yet.
In our podcast during that season, bro, it was funny because it was H in the middle, Bali, like upset, bro. It was like 3 games in a row, bro. 3 games in a row. How can this happen, bro?
Had
And I'm
to talk
like,
him off a ledge.
Yeah, and I'm always here like, it's all right, bro. It's all right. Like, I'm fine.
Welcome to the MLS.
Welcome to the MLS,
Welcome to the
brother.
MLS.
It's okay.
Bali was like, man, quick, tell me that shit, man. Quick, tell me that shit.
Bali, you don't care, bro. I'm like, I do care. It's time.
There's no pro relegation.
It's all right. It's okay.
Yeah, you said you were like, there's no like risk.
There's no risk.
There's no risk. Like,
actually, you get rewarded.
You get
if you're
rewarded.
last, guess what? You get
You
a
get
first round
more,
draft
yeah,
pick, baby.
yeah.
It's okay.
That's true.
You know,
You get a little more TAM, a little more.
Welcome to the
Yeah,
U.S.
exactly,
sports.
exactly.
Welcome to U.S. sports. You know?
That's so true. If you're last, you get the first round pick. That's crazy.
That's crazy. I don't get it. But moving on, man. Future work. What do you guys see? The future. We Are Austin TV, Top Flight. Any new endeavors that maybe we don't know of, or things that are in the oven?
For Top Flight, we definitely like as we said, we want to reach 1,000 subs. That's like a big goal for us. Like probably the driving.
That's the
goal
main
for
one.
Us. That's the main goal for us is to reach 1,000 subs on YouTube for Top Flight.
Why not 10K, man?
For
You
sure.
guys got that.
Yeah, for sure.
But first we need to get to 1,000.
If you want the big picture, we hope to one day just do this full time, man. One day, you never know. It's like, and that's the big picture here. And I like to see big picture stuff. But like, a goal for us right now is to reach 1,000 subs. And for We're Austin TV is me and H are building a team and want to build that team bigger. We want to get more people involved and to spread out the work and to be more passionate about it and just to have it become a self machine, like an Austin self. Like there's so many people involved. It's so much content. It's just like it's gonna be self-sustaining in a way. Like it'll be theirs. One day we have other. H is interviewing. Maybe we could have 2 or 3 other guys. Stuff like that. So.
It's funny how you said. Sorry to interrupt. How you said Austin. You didn't say Austin FC.
Austin.
You said
bro.
Austin.
That's
That's
Austin, bro.
that's dope. That's love right there.
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think like for the future, I would definitely like to see us grow as a page and be known as like that page that covers Austin FC. You have a lot of good pages out there, like Striker Texas. You have Eric Goodman. He works with the Austin Chronicle. You have the Moon Tower guys. You have all these people that do content for Austin FC. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like we're a little bit different. Everybody's different. Everybody has their own little
their own flavor.
Their own flavor.
Yeah,
Everybody has their own flavor, right? With We're Austin TV, we got the fan reactions. We got the we kind of like have the like stats, the graphics aspect of it. I mean, it'd be awesome to turn this into like its own self-sustaining machine, like how B says. I don't know if I would ever want to be like a journalist. You know what I'm saying? Because some people have asked me like, "Oh, do you want to like go into this? Like, do you see yourself going into this or whatever?" Like I've had
just get that associates, and that's all you need.
I've had people like tell me like, "Oh, like do you want to work with this or whatever?" I'm just like, "Nah, like I'm focused on this. Like I want to build We're Austin TV because I see the vision of it." You know what I'm saying? So. The main goal is to just grow it, give it everything I got, because I don't want to be like 65 or 70 and say like, damn, I had the opportunity of a lifetime to be at the birth of an industry in my hometown and I didn't take advantage of it. Because how I always think about it is like, if I'm not doing what I'm doing, somebody else is going to step in. Like I kind of just always see myself as pushing forward. Like I always want to just get more. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like I'm not I don't have the same mindset as this evil. I mean, some people could see him as he's like an evil character in history, but my dad named me after Cortés, Hernan Cortés, and he was like famously known for. Well, there's some stories that tell it like this. There's other stories that don't tell it like that. But supposedly he had like burned his boats, so that there was no way that his men could like go back. You know what I'm saying? So me kind of like, there's no way of going back to my old life before we're on TV. So I already burnt those ships. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like I'm going through the Mayan and the Aztec forest, you know what I'm saying? Which is like this journey that we're going through with We're Austin TV and Top Flight, and whatever I find, you know what I'm saying? But I want to be there with my friends, with the people that I came up with, because I don't know, man, it's just like special to come up with the people that you started with.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you get hired by a network or a channel, there goes your point of view. There goes what you want to say.
Like
they have to dictate everything
That's what
you say.
I would always preach that at the beginning.
Yeah, he would always preach that.
I would be like, look, we got to do it ourselves. And then to H's point, you know, for me, my driving factor is to have the opportunity to do something, like I mentioned earlier, that a dream, like not a lot of people have the opportunity to chase a dream that they want to do. And to have the opportunity for me to chase this dream, it's a blessing.
It's like being in LA at the beginning of the legalization of marijuana. You know what I'm saying? It's like starting a content page for Austin at its birth. You know what I'm saying? Like there's teams like Real Madrid, huge teams like Barcelona, Arsenal, that have a lot of content pages that are out there, you know, and they all have thousands of followers, hundreds of thousands.
But they were established.
They were established a long time ago.
100 years ago.
Exactly. Years ago.
Right now we're at a unique time. We have a special opportunity to be at a certain age where we're not too old, but we're not too young. You know what I'm saying? Like we have money that we can invest into this project that we believe in, you know what I'm saying? And we're not that you know, old. We're not like 50 or 60 enough that we missed that chance or whatever. We can't really put content out there like that. So it'd just be a shame to not take advantage of the opportunity that you're presented with.
For sure.
Plus, the sport is new here. I mean,
and I love soccer. We love soccer.
Yeah, we love soccer.
That's the one thing.
It's not new, but it kind of is compared to the world. Like
no, for sure, man.
It's like an infancy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a good segue to the reflection kind of question of the day that we had is with the World Cup coming here to the North America 2024. Cities have been announced. We got hopes. We got expectations. I don't know if y'all saw that FIFA segment, but they made a whole deal about the city announcements, and one of the quotes from the president of FIFA, corrupt as he may be, Infantino, he said, by 2026, soccer will be the #1 sport in this part of the world, meaning USA. We'll take care of the NFL. So I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts on that.
I believe it 100%. 100%.
Now that I see, like, yeah, hell yeah.
Look,
I believe it 100%.
What the World Cup did for I think was it 94?
94.
Yeah. Was here. I mean, like.
Just missed it.
Yeah, just missed
it.
it.
You were 95. Dude, I would have told you, man, the stories.
Yeah. I was in the sack still, you know what I'm saying? I was in the sack. I was in the sack.
This World Cup is 100% going to explode the sport here in the world because, I mean, it did a lot for the women's game. When the World Cup was here for the women's, it elevated that, and it's going to be an insane boost. It's going to give the neutral fans, like, where can I watch? Like, oh, there's a league in my country? Like, oh, shit, in my city there's a team? Like, I love this sport, like the World Cup, and it's like we want to ride that wave, and like we want the MLS to be as big as it can be. And it's only been around 25 years, 26 years. It's been, I think it's my age. I think it came up in 94, I believe 95. Either way, it's like around my age. Like that's how old the league is. And, you know, anything that could help the league grow. And I feel like I honestly have this theory is like one day the MLS could be one of the top leagues in the world, in my opinion. And I'm not saying that's going to happen in 5, 10 years, maybe 15. 20.
Also, bro, with We're Austin TV, bro, like one thing that I have in mind is like one day the World Cup is gonna come to our shores. Like, there's no day that doesn't come around unless the world doesn't stop spinning. You know what I'm saying? Like 5, 10 years from now, no matter what day that goes by, that date is gonna come one day. So like with the podcast and with We're Austin TV, like I know that one day this event is going to come around, and when that event comes around, I would hope that the page is as established as we can be, and we're as good and standing as we can be with whatever fan base we have, you know what I'm saying? So maybe there's like some kind of major network out there that comes by and says, hey, can y'all cover this event for us. You know what I'm saying? Like that can happen without having to sign 100% over to this person. You know what I'm saying? Like you can do these fun things or whatever. Like, but to be kind of like established. You know what I'm saying? Because whenever that World Cup comes here, bro, it's gonna be insane.
And like you said, like you guys, I mean, by that time, hopefully everything's well, and we're all alive by then. Yeah, it's gonna be established for already 4 years. Like 4 years that we started a long time ago. Like you guys started with, like doing the fan reactions when people would be like, "What the hell are they doing?"
Yeah,
little by little that shit grows. Like, and you see like, "Oh goddamn, I want to hop on that." By that time, dude, it's gonna be like you guys are gonna be established. Like I'm pretty sure, I'm hoping, like say, like even like say for you guys get the access you deserve. That time that everything goes well, you guys give it a good work, and just be able to experience things that you have never experienced in here, because that's gonna be a fucking lifetime thing. You're gonna be able to tell like everyone.
Well deserved too. I mean, man, the World Cup is the pinnacle in team sports in the
football.
World. Not only in football, but in the world. Like
the world,
if
world
you ask,
event.
It's like the biggest world event.
It's
Sports
the biggest
event.
world of sports event. Like if you ask somebody like, what's the pinnacle of an athlete's achievement to win? It would either be the World Cup or a gold medal in the Olympics.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
And I would put the World Cup above the Olympics, in my opinion, as far as like a team sport. I mean, it's the pinnacle of the world. Like it's just an amazing sport. It's like, I mean, last year I took the whole month off to watch the World Cup. I watched every
last World Cup.
I saved up money. I was like, you know what? I'm taking the whole World Cup off, bro. Well, actually, that was a time where I also had my ACL surgery. So like, I timed it.
Oh,
so
damn.
I had this. My surgery,
You were like the day before.
Yeah,
just waited for
No,
it.
I didn't time the injury. I timed the surgery. So I had surgery, and then the next
like,
day
I'm walking.
the World Cup started. So I was in my
Yeah.
bed recovering, watching all the games. So it was amazing. I kind of want to do that again.
Ones.
Yeah,
Yeah,
boring ones.
even
They
the
have
boring
something. They
ones,
have something.
man. Even the boring
Like
ones, I don't care.
Japan-
Every single game.
Japan.
The Japan.
What's
Belgium.
the one game that was like the second game? It was like
South
Tunisia
Korea,
against.
It doesn't matter, bro.
Yeah.
It does. I watch it.
You watched
I watch it because you're seeing the best talent that a country can have go against the best talent that the other country can have. Like you're watching the pinnacle of quality and athleticism in countries. Like
you have cultures, you have histories, you have fan bases that are just meshing and competing against
the best.
each other.
The best in the world. It's the best, bro.
Also, I'm hoping to develop enough connections before that time to secure tickets to a game, because I'm sure it's
better
tough.
when you don't pay it than it's better when you don't pay it.
Yeah, so I'm like trying to meet the right people in this long journey.
We got 4 years to do
You know
it,
what I'm
bro.
saying? So I'm like trying to meet the right people that'll put me in the right spots.
And one thing you like say, you're doing it genuinely with the work without kissing ass.
Yeah.
That's a key right there.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, it's good to hear you guys talk about the growth of the MLS and how y'all see that the league growing, kind of pushing this combined with the World Cup aspirations here in 2024. And one thing that I see now in 2022, all the major top flight leagues are off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where are those players vacationing at? Where do they go? They're here
yeah.
In the U.S.
in the U.S.
Vinicius is
They're
like
in Miami.
LA,
They're in
LA,
LA. They're in Chicago.
Vegas.
In Vegas.
These top athletes in their leisure, they don't spend it in Liverpool. They don't spend it in
England's the
or
worst
England.
place. to
Cancun.
probably go.
They hate England most of the time.
They come here, dude.
Who was that? Sergio Ramos was in Cancun a couple years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
But-
So these top players are coming here. They like being here. Imagine if the league continues to grow and level, they're gonna want to play here, dude.
The U.S. is
Yeah.
globally is known as like we have a kind of like a thing to the U.S. It's like American or USA. It's like globally.
It's just
like,
abundance.
There's
dude.
that.
it's
There's
like-
that.
abundance.
So,
dude.
for example, one example you were saying, like going with that, is when the Clásico was here in Miami. That game was fucking delayed for over an hour and 30 minutes because these motherfuckers are still recovering, and there was traffic, so they had to open up 2 lanes so the buses could haul into the stadium because they were running late. Like the game was supposed to start. I was in the Uber on the way to the stadium, and the game was supposed to start at 6. You can see at 6 o'clock the bus is still coming through, and you can see some of the players. You could tell they had some fun. Like you can see Neymar like
Well, the most
here in
watched
South
sporting,
Beach.
the most watched sporting event in the history of the U.S. is friendly between United and Real Madrid, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was like 97,000.
The most
attendance.
capacity.
Oh,
attendance.
We're definitely
friendly.
That was in Dallas, no? That was in Dallas, I believe.
Probably Cotton Bowl.
The Cotton Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. That was in Dallas.
And it was just like I mean,
Greece was in his
friendly.
prime.
Real Madrid United was the most. I mean, I don't know. On the World Cup talking the England USA game.
Oh
on
yeah, I was
Black
just about to touch
Friday.
that.
That's gonna be
That's gonna break records.
Yeah.
Bro, that's gonna be the most watched sporting event in the history of the United States, maybe
Ever,
even
yeah.
ever.
That's perfect. It's perfect.
storm.
It's the perfect.
It's like
perfect storm. I can't wait.
I can't even fathom.
That group, man. That group was. I'm taking a weekend off. Actually, I get paid like.
It's a holiday weekend.
It's a holiday weekend.
Holiday weekend.
That's I get the whole 4 days
I
off.
might take the whole month
good for
off,
you.
bro. You know what I
Good
mean?
for y'all.
I might take the whole month off.
And the craziest part about it is that USA might win.
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, man.
USA might win.
The English are cocky, man.
Yeah. I really want the US to win.
The US to hit
Too
the
much.
English
Too much.
in the face.
This is an insane amount of talent.
If
bro.
they
It's
start
like
Harry McShit, they're gonna lose.
the fridge.
The fridge, man. He is
I love the
terrible.
fridge.
He's terrible.
Oh,
bro.
he's terrible.
He's the England though.
I'm a United fan, and it hurts when I see him on the lineup. Like when I see him, like God damn.
I don't know how
dude.
he's there.
I don't know
really
either.
don't know how he has.
He
the
must
job.
have like a really good Theo, a really good Padrino,
100%.
a really good someone like.
It's kinda like the-
You know that's what it is. Deep down, you know that's what it is.
You know why? Because he's English, mate. Because he's English, mate.
Overvalued, bro.
Bro, English players have an automatic 40 million tax on them. No
I
matter
love
what,
those.
bro.
That's
I
what I
love
was
those
telling
memes,
him.
bro.
Like that's why I don't like English, like the English national team. Because I'm like, dude, they're just overhyped.
In the
Like,
Premier League, if you want to buy an English player, there's an
100
automatic.
they're
40
like
million.
they're like the Mexican version of European leagues, like the Mexican
Yeah,
player
like,
version
yeah,
of European
exactly.
leagues.
That's a good metaphor.
I love those memes where they have a player, but they change his name, like to the flag. Like they'll have like the most recent one I saw is
Ricelino,
Rice-Lupski.
Ricelino?
Yeah.
Ricelino is from Brazil, and he's like 27 mil.
it's a-
And then Risotto is from Italy, and he's like 50.
Yeah.
And then it says Declan Rice, just because he's from England, 90 mil.
90
You know what I'm saying? It's an insane. And you saw it also with Jack Grealish.
Yeah,
Jack Grealish, which is another guy that's been partying his ass off in Vegas.
Bro, he gets.
Oh, yeah.
Have y'all
lit.
seen
He
this?
gets
Yes, that's what I'm
lit,
saying.
bro.
Like these
Yeah,
players
he
like
gets
coming to the
lit.
U.S., man.
Bro,
I don't know
he-
if it's good,
Dude,
but
he was seen leaving Las Vegas casino at like 3 a.m. after spending like at least 6 figures there, bro.
All the English players.
With a
bro,
shawty too.
Him and Foden. I mean, Foden, bro. Foden
Yeah,
gets
I spent
lit,
about
bro.
about 5
Q2.
with a shouty. My wife,
Captain Morgan.
Captain Moore.
Captain Morgan
man.
Club.
That's crazy.
Dude,
I can't wait for that World Cup to come to the shore.
I'm looking forward to like the World Cup and what adventures are we all gonna have
Exactly.
from here till then.
Yeah.
And it's gonna come to our shore. I mean, not too far from our shores, Houston and Dallas.
I'm down.
Houston, also, some people were talking about Monterrey trip. Monterrey.
That'd be nice.
I'm a
That'd
dude.
be nice.
By that time, I'm gonna make it to the Azteca regardless if I have papers or not.
I really want to go to
I
Azteca.
hope
I really
they
want
have
to
the
go.
final in Azteca, bro.
Se va a
No,
caer.
it's gonna be
El Azteca se va a caer, bro.
so
El Azteca se va a
They have
caer.
to do it.
they have to do it. So they're gonna be the inauguration at the Azteca.
No.
Yeah, the
inauguration
yeah,
is at the Azteca?
the final's gonna be in the U.S.
You don't think they?
I see that. I see
Yeah,
that.
I really wanted the final in
the
Azteca.
history in the Azteca.
That's what we
bro.
talked about last
Pelé,
time. Pero mira, ¿sabes qué?
Maradona, bro.
The
It's
hand of
it's
God
that
was in- was
it's
in
that
the-
it's
was
that
in the
money,
Azteca.
dude.
Bro, the history.
So they have to, but they're gonna have to give the Azteca the
Something.
the inauguration.
They're gonna
Yeah.
make it start there.
We'll
check
see.
this
They're
out.
gonna have
We'll
to at
see,
least
man.
to close a cycle or
I have
something.
faith that maybe in the final, bro.
Hopefully,
this out,
like
check this out.
there's a.
insane.
No, I don't want to say a flood because like we're from Houston.
Check this out, bro. What if?
But-
what if?
Never mind.
What if the final is in the Azteca
Oh, dude.
and
fucking-
England make it to the final? What if? Because let's be real.
shit.
Let's be real. England have made it far in some of the past.
Yeah, they made it to
championships.
semis. They made it to
They made it
semis.
to semis. So every time they've been getting closer. So that next step for them is finals or Southgate has to go. right?
Yeah.
But what if England make it to the finals and they lose in the Azteca again? Because they lost to Argentina there in like 84. In like 84, yeah. Whenever he punched the ball.
That was,
La mano de Dios.
86.
La mano de Dios.
So that was like the reason why Argentina was like so adamant at like beating the shit out of them was because the war in the Malvinas. In the Falkland Islands.
That's what I'm talking about. The
And
history.
they were like, there was a history behind it, and then Maradona was like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of them."
Yeah.
So that's why that's what pumped him up to do that one goal, like to take it from one side to the other.
The final should be in Azteca way.
It should be in
It should,
be
but
in the
it
USA.
won't. You know, we're talking about FIFA here. Dude.
Yeah, it's gonna be in New York or Dallas.
The
finals.
biggest capacity stadium it's gonna be.
SoFi Stadium.
SoFi.
In
It's
LA.
finally. I'll be badass. Dude, fucking
Inglewood.
Inglewood. Shit. Hey, imagine the fucking.
It should be in Azteca.
Or
It should be in Azteca.
or
Azteca.
in Cowboy Stadium because
Jerry
More than
Jones-
likely,
Jerry Jones-
Jerry's gonna be like popping in some shit ton of
He
money,
said,
dude.
He said
Yeah.
he came out and officially said that him and his team were going to do everything possible to get that final
Yeah.
in Dallas.
And
When you have someone like Jerry
And
that
it's
says
also-
that,
it's
like
also
they're
covered,
gonna
bro.
do whatever.
It,
Yeah,
it,
It's
it is
also-
covered.
it's
It's
also covered.
retractable,
Yeah.
so they can do it at that prime
It's
time,
big,
where
too.
like you can play like in the
So,
afternoon, and then
Azteca
European
is
would
actually
be prime
closing
time.
down for 3 years before the. So
They
I
need
mean,
to do
I don't know why they fucking.
renovations at the stadium
Yeah,
fast, bro.
yeah.
Because
They've been
didn't it
piecing
crack?
bro. They've been
It cracked in the
some years
earthquake
ago.
in
They cracked some years
2017.
ago, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been piecing it together, bro. When algo se jode, they go and like fix that part, and then aquí, and then they're like, it's
Yeah,
like,
they patch it. They
It's-
keep on. They're gonna.
We need some We Are Us and TV updates of us.
We need to take. we need to take you and get
yeah,
this shit
let's
going,
go,
dude.
Let's go, man.
The electrical and the general contractor.
Let's go.
Yeah, well,
Oh, you too, right?
let's do it. Yeah, let's do it.
I'm over here. I'll be. Hey, wait. Todo bien, wait. La chave.
I can't wait, bro.
Yeah,
Can't wait either.
Dude, I'm
Just-
looking
bro,
forward
just
to.
imagine if the final is in Dallas. It could happen. Houston, no.
I
Houston,
don't think
no
it'll
va a
happen
pasar.
in Houston.
Nah,
I don't
Houston
think
is
it'll
not gonna
happen.
go.
But Dallas,
Pero
I can
Dallas,
see it.
there's a chance.
Dallas. Yeah, but they need to fucking like invest in the infrastructure around the stadium if they're gonna make it in Dallas, and not
They need
not
to
in the
have
stadium,
some
but
hotels
around the
and
stadium
everything,
because
bro.
this
Yeah.
shit right now, dude.
Okay.
Hotels.
That's a
Like,
good point. That's a
like,
good point.
So
Oh,
here's the reason why. Like to get out of the stadium, it takes you about an hour and 30 minutes.
I've been-
If you don't
I've been.
park, like say, last time we went, I told Chaparro like, hey, let's park like in this spot right here, and we're gonna be out quick. We did that and we were out quick. My parents parked like where everybody was parking. They were there for 2 hours.
Damn.
Like, but
Infrastructure's
they
important.
need to fix that shit.
There's a little bar near AT&T Stadium that you go there, you eat, you drink, and they take you on a little bus.
Oh, that's cool.
Ahí está.
You gotta
I'll
like.
give you the name of that later.
Yeah,
I can't,
okay,
I can't
man,
think of it right now.
That'd be dope, though, man. Dallas final, but I think it's gonna be like I said, somewhere like LA, Chicago.
It's gonna be one of the big
Miami.
cities. Yeah.
Miami, maybe. Miami might. Get
Well,
that
the thing
song.
is, like the stadium is far away. I mean, Dallas too, but it's like fucking 40 minutes away from downtown.
Everything, yeah.
That's the one thing. Like, say,
True.
but I mean,
SoFi Stadium, bro. I see
SoFi
it. I see it. SoFi.
in Inglewood, that would be
I
badass,
see
dude.
it,
Like to
SoFi
have it,
Stadium.
like in the fucking Inglewood. Like,
I just see
Inglewood.
it. Or the final in Azteca, but
Fucking
I
Snoop
just
Dogg halftime show. Nah,
I just don't
That was
think-
Super Bowl, my bad.
I just don't think that the final of the World Cup will be done in pesos.
Nah,
You know what I'm
it has
saying?
to be
It has to be in
no, but
dollars.
by that
It has
time,
to
like
be in-
like if
it
you
has
look
to be
at like
dollars.
Mexican soccer runs in dollars, like
Yeah.
regardless of anything. So like that part, es el ingenio.
Yeah.
That's true. El
El Chapo.
ain't gonna be in Canada, that's for sure.
Nah,
ain't gonna be in
Nah,
Canada.
we probably won't be in Canada.
Canada's gonna get like the Tunisia against South Korea games, like
Yeah.
that group. What's the one group that you know?
Hey,
that's
one thing that somebody asked me at work, we were talking about this real quick, is somebody said watch Mexico play all their games in the USA to make that
They
money.
will.
Yeah.
You know what
No,
I'm
they're
saying?
gonna have
not
to.
play,
But-
and not
but-
play any game.
That'd be
in,
so weird
in Mexico.
It'll be so
They're-
weird.
they're gonna
But
play.
I
They're
can see it
gonna.
I can see it
They're
happening.
gonna.
At least one.
Yeah, they're gonna play one game in Mexico. Just
At least in Monterrey.
they're gonna
or
have to.
something.
The
Yeah,
opener.
it might be in,
Or the
in
opener,
Azteca. Yeah, but the one thing is like,
They play home anywhere, bro.
yeah, they play home in
Hay
here.
chingo de
It's-
raza donde
El,
sea,
Yeah.
bro.
El partido, the first game versus Poland is the game of our tournament, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's
That's the
the
make or
game
break.
of our
That's the make or
tournament.
break.
It's the make or break game.
You
So
have to beat Poland.
You have to beat Poland.
You have to beat Poland.
or draw at least.
No,
You cannot-
No, you gotta
no,
beat
no,
them,
you have
dude.
to
Because
beat
if
them,
you
Wade.
if you
You have to
if you
beat
draw against Poland and you lose against Argentina, you really gotta like blow out Saudi Arabia,
which is possible.
But however, Poland and France are gonna also blow out Saudi Arabia.
Poland and Argentina.
Poland and Argentina, sorry, yeah.
But Poland, you don't see Poland beating Argentina, bro.
Dude, you never know.
They could tie.
The thing is, like Argentina, it's a type of team that like no empieza bien, güey.
They're like 36 games undefeated. Like they're
like, coming in strong.
They're also
strong. They have one thing that nobody else does.
Lionel Messi.
Not only that, because Messi's not even. I mean, there might be some Barca fans here. I don't know, but Messi's not that much of a factor as you see. But the thing, hold on. The thing is though that he has an army of players that will die for him.
That's a big factor because he didn't have that in the previous ones.
They will.
You had Pipite Higuaín missing it in front of the goal.
They owe him one, bro.
Yeah,
that's
like
the thing.
these players are actually
in their mind.
So these players are actually like getting Messi and like, you know what, we're gonna carry you the best we can, the way Portugal did with Ronaldo in 2016 and 2018.
They're Messi extremists,
right? And then Messi had a very long off season.
Yeah.
You know, with PSG.
Too, bro.
And if he's ever happy, it's with his country. You know what I'm saying?
It was practice, okay?
Yeah, it was like
practice.
chilling.
Maybe that was part of the game plan.
It was part of the game.
I don't know, bro. But I think maybe Mexico could get some points from Argentina.
That's what I say. It's gonna be Mexico. Mexico, mira, le va a ganar a Argentina, va a empatar con Polonia y va a empatar con Saudi Arabia.
Oh my God.
Watch.
That would be fucking
empatar con
dreams,
Saudi
bro.
Arabia.
They're gonna get. The thing is, like, they're gonna get so cocky.
The thing is though that we're
And they're
not
gonna-
that good
y
right
luego se van a
now.
perder.
We're
We're
not good.
not
To
that
be
good.
honest, bro, we're not good, bro.
We're not
good. This is the
That's what I'm
worst.
trying to tell Rich.
I've seen him,
worst
dude.
World Cup
I've seen
ever.
him in
I'm
the
sorry,
worst,
you're
dude. I've
right.
seen him. Yeah, I've seen him like in where Ramos don't make it, and then they play Brazil and they.
Let's go back to Chepo de la Torre's reign with
2000.
Mexico. We were down. We almost didn't make it to the World Cup.
Oh, we were down bad.
That's-
We
that's
relied
what
on
we-
a
that
chilena de
Raúl
Raúl
Jiménez.
Jiménez.
We had to go to
Diosito Santo.
the playoffs and beat New Zealand.
New Zealand.
Yeah.
New Zealand,
Yes.
right? That's what we beat the crap out of.
Where did
Which
you
was
watch the
kinda
game?
fishy. It was like 4 in the morning. I don't think I watched it.
Dude, I was at a.
I don't remember, bro. Honestly.
Shout out to the spot in Galveston. I was there.
I don't remember. I just remember us winning, and I was like, "Fuck yeah!"
Nah, dude. So before that, the worst one was besides that one, but then the other one was El Vasco Aguirre in 2002.
Okay.
They just made it. Like they were just
I don't remember that World
they
Cup.
were just like they had to really blow out Honduras.
Okay.
And Cuauhtemoc was like, all right, I guess it's time to shine.
Wow.
And he scored 2 on them.
He's my
So-
favorite.
Mexican.
Hey, that's a Drusi.
Bro,
You gave him a shout out.
Drusi
Yeah.
gave him a shout out on Mante con Voz.
When
I
I
saw
became
that.
a fan of the sport,
It was Cuau.
him, bro. It was him, Clever, El Piojo López Díaz, Villa, Ochoa.
Young Ochoa.
I saw Ochoa's debut.
Super squad.
I saw Ochoa's
again, yeah.
debut.
In 2004.
Bro, I saw it,
Yeah,
bro, in
dude.
person. His debut game for America.
In
was-
person or like on
No,
TV?
no, on
TV.
TV. on TV.
Yeah, like my dad, we were watching a game and my dad was like, there is the future right there.
Bro, he was known as the clavados goalkeeper.
Yeah, he
was
just
always
had the
known as
amazing
the-
And even now, bro,
Amazing saves.
He still got some,
especially in like this campaign, one of the last games, like we've been trying a lot of different keepers. We tried Cota, Talavera, etc.
Ochoa's
But
gone.
Memo just
Memo's gone,
So
bro.
Memo's gonna memo.
They owe
That's a
him
good one.
one.
I like that.
that 1985 generation had a good amount of players. Cristiano Ronaldo,
Okay.
Wayne Rooney, Memo Ochoa, me.
Chill out,
Relax,
Richie.
A Ochoa le deben for the one they took el conejo, güey. They should have took
yeah.
Ochoa.
Oh,
South
yeah.
Africa.
Le deben, güey.
2002
Le
South
deben,
Africa.
le deben, güey. Le
2010.
deben.
So,
Oh, that was
So
Yeah.
and so another like reason why this team is gonna be all right is in 1998 they were doing shit, and I remember like from TV they were doing shit like in the quarter like they made it to the World Cup. They made it like without having to go to like a promotion game, but it's still like get to the amistosos and they were like just doing shit, dude. There were criticism. No la van a hacer, no la van a hacer.
It's toxic.
And then they beat, they actually got scored on against South Korea. And I remember in that time, Hugo Sánchez was like the first time in Televisa. And he was like, no lo puedo creer, este partido está perdiendo contra So contra Corea del Sur, vamos a perder este partido, no tenemos en el Mundial. And then you see them score. You see Mateo score, and they bounce back. And then they against Belgium, we had like one man down, and then we tied 2-2. And then against Holland, same thing, 2-2. And after that, they're like, oh, shit, we're going to win it. So there's these players.
You think there's hope?
Dude, they're going to – Mexican players love the spotlight.
When the World Cup happens,
but
every team's –
the spotlight to a limit.
Yeah, every team in the World Cup almost automatically it goes up like times 3. Like every team, it's like you're in the world stage. So like the attitude,
something flips.
Something the grind. It's like every player's attributes go up like 10%. Like every team's like hustle and work goes up. Like it's like they're all on like it's like everything's elevated.
Also, bro, one thing that we gotta know: this World Cup is unique in every aspect. Like it's different. It's in different time. Yes, it's whatever. But one of the main things that it's gonna affect some of these players, a lot of these players like to party. They're rich. They're handsome. They have multiple women after them when they see them at the club or whatever, right? But in this World Cup, I know a lot of the fans that listening to this pod, they have seen on mainstream media that say like if you're caught having a one-night stand,
adulteress.
Oh yes,
if you're caught committing any of these things, you're gonna get locked up 7 years.
Bro,
get locked.
So I feel like a lot of these players, bro, they're gonna be locked in.
Yeah.
They're gonna be locked in, bro. So we might see some of the best performances.
No public display of affection, bro. What is
you
going on?
can't drink in the streets. Remember?
Well, you have to go to the fan section.
You remember in 2018 when Mexico, I think, beat Germany, the city that they played in Russia ran out of beer. Yeah. You remember that story?
Oh my God.
We did the same at La Holly.
Remember that story? Dude, it was
They
crazy.
ran out of beer because of 3 of us.
That city ran out of beer. You know what I'm saying? Where Mexico had played, like, it's going to be very tough this World Cup coming.
So, like,
very unique.
the cleaning lady before you guys came, her husband is El Azteca.
Oh, okay.
And they're going to do their best to go to the World Cup. Yeah, they've gone to every World Cup.
Sponsored?
Nah, dude, they've never. She said they never reached out and like, hey, let me help you out.
What? That's all just him?
Yeah, just him. Wow. Like he has a tire shop business. He pays for it.
Okay, that's a good business. That's a good business to have.
But yeah, he's gone to every World Cup since 1994. I think.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I've seen him on screen.
Yeah,
I know what he's talking about.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. And
that's interesting.
He's like, yeah, we didn't make it to the one like this round of tickets. Hopefully to the next one.
That would be like a huge dream to go to a World Cup game, especially a Mexico game.
Oh,
that'd be insane.
It'd be insane.
I mean, because I'm from here. I have my citizenship from the USA. I'm proud to be from this country. But I just, you can never take the fact away from me that my first language was Spanish. Like I learned how to speak Spanish before I learned how to speak English. I learned how to speak English from TV and from my older cousins and from music.
For sure.
I learned Spanish at home. Whenever I'm with my parents, it's only Spanish. So growing up, I had my one love was El Tri. El Tri. And even though we do suck now, I get it. And the U.S. best national team is the new shiny little toy that everybody's chasing after. Everybody's covering because there's so much to cover. There's so much to cover on them, and it's fun to cover them because they're winning, right? But I mean, I would feel like I would be betraying Mexican soccer if I were to be following U.S. best national team. It's not that I'm saying that I'm anti-U.S. I hate the U.S., but I follow El Tri more than I follow
100%.
No, I 100% agree. But I would also say that it's the first time that I look at a U.S. squad and I'm like, I support them. I want them. I want them to fucking do well.
Exactly.
Do as far as they can.
I'll be supporting both, bro. I mean, I'm with H.
I mean, that's the benefit of in this country. We get.
In the World Cup, I'm gonna follow both of them.
Exactly.
I just want
100%.
someone. I want someone from the Americas to win so bad.
Yeah,
I'm
tired of the European teams.
Bro, the U.S. squad. I mean, god damn, bro. They're not only are they like good, but they're young, bro.
Yeah. Next World Cup, they're gonna be.
Oh yeah,
you have to.
They're everything that I've always wanted the Tri to be, bro.
Yeah.
They just need to take advantage of that opportunity, man. Because
it's a golden generation. But we've seen with Mexico what a golden generation can turn out to be, and it's not that good.
Yeah.
So hopefully they take advantage of what they have, like such young, great stars. But I mean, I'm ready to get hurt, y'all. I'm ready. I'm to be honest with you, I'm gonna be supportive, but I'm ready. Like I just replay the gol de Maxi Rodriguez. I was
about to say that. Just about to say that. Just about
killed me, bro. That goal killed me,
that
bro.
shit.
To this day, I'm like, Osvaldo, why were you off your line?
He was off his line.
He should have stayed. He should have stayed.
When I went in, my soul left my body, bro. It was like man.
And then, bro, like, there's so many, like, from that moment, from that World Cup and the next World Cup when they knocked us out,
2018,
like 10. So many offsides. Tevez super offside goal.
Yeah.
Osorio, whenever he gave the ball away, like off a mistake, like we got knocked out. We got knocked out twice, right? And like, there's a lot of Mexican fans that just like support Argentina, and I get it. Do whatever you want if you're like a big Messi fan, but me as like a Mexican fan, I hate Argentina's soccer team.
I hate them.
I hate Argentina's soccer team, bro.
I had such a like stigma against Argentinos. I was like,
hate them because of those moments. They made me cry.
If I meet an Argentino, I'm not gonna like him. I'm not gonna like him. And then I met my wife's stepdad, and he's Argentino, and he's actually really nice. So I'm like, okay.
But like with this group, bro, this is personal.
Yeah.
This is personal shit, bro. Whenever we play
La revancha.
Argentina, we know what's on the line.
No, se la tienen que
what's on the
rifar.
line.
Tell you, man.
But the thing
they're
is,
gonna
though,
tie or win. Watch.
Thing is, though, I don't even know if these players are up for it.
Yeah.
No,
Excited, bro.
no
Who-
Chicharo.
Who is the leader of Mexico right now? Who's the leader
We
in
don't
that
have
squad?
one, bro. We don't have one.
Leader as far as what in the
That
field?
Like the field,
that's
the
gonna
team?
command like, hey,
We don't
like
have one.
Memo? Is it
You know
Memo?
who's gonna be the leader?
It would have to be
Flores.
Memo way.
Flores in the future.
Flores in the future. Yeah, in the
Flores
future.
in the
Yeah,
future.
yeah. But right now, dude, they're gonna have a good like break, like a good party before they leave, and they're gonna be like, all right, have a heart-to-heart conversation, and be like, okay, guys, we need to get to work,
Let me ask y'all something.
and then they're gonna like blow out.
Let me ask y'all something, bro. ¿Los llevamos a Chicha o no?
I think we have to, because for me is you gotta take every resource available
Plus,
to compete.
they updated the teams. Now you can take
26.
26.
So
I will
there's
even
no-
include Bella in that. Bella, vente.
Bella
You
doesn't
have
like to
to-
play soccer.
Yeah.
Bella doesn't like to play soccer,
Bella
but
doesn't like to play
but
soccer.
if Bella was up for it, I'm like, vente,
Bro,
Bella.
we gotta take Chicha. Way.
We have to take Chicha.
You gotta take him.
We gotta take
You,
him.
you
bro.
gotta, because
Top
Chicha is a top
scorer.
player.
He's
He
the
could be
top
falling down and
scorer.
scoring at the same time.
Yeah,
Like
you
This
have
is,
to.
bro, this is his last
You
World
have to,
Cup.
bro.
he's gonna
This is
win
his
it.
last
Es
one.
la última,
Yeah.
güey.
Si no la llevan, güey.
Es
That
la
would hurt.
última.
That would hurt,
That would
dude.
hurt, bro.
Nah, he's gonna watch. They're gonna have a heart-to-heart, and they're gonna be, like in August, they're gonna say like, okay, cool, we're gonna,
They got it to.
He's gonna come out and give like a big press and like, I'm sorry, I fucked up. I should have never done that.
Also, bro, it's also important to know I myself am Tata out. I'm Piojo in. I'm Piojo in. I'm Piojo in.
My man's over here.
Tata is not a good coach for us.
No, right now, if you had the power and opportunity, you'd be like, Tata out, Piojo in right now in this moment.
Right now. Right
Shit,
now.
you don't That's do pretty that. bold.
Even if like, I mean, that's not gonna happen.
It's
But
too
if I
late,
could,
bro.
if I was the one or whatever, I would still call the shot, because Piojo is that kind of
He's a
coach that
motivator.
knows these players.
Yeah, he's a Zidane type, like a player management type.
And he also coaches in that league.
Yeah.
That's where his job is right now. So he knows these players. So he wouldn't have an issue to like
Pero-
step in.
pero
He's
es
not
muy-
like an outsider.
But
that
it's
you're
muy
bringing in.
tarde, bro.
It is too late. It is too late.
The reason why, like,
But
I
we
would say
suck.
Piojo in,
Bro,
it's like if he would have won the La Liga MX with Tigres this past season,
Yeah.
then it would have made it okay. We gotta
he would
bring
have
him
put
in.
pressure. He would have
He
put
also
pressure.
like, okay.
he also punched Martinoli.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
Yeah.
That didn't help.
Deserved
And
it,
Martinoli is gonna be like
Deserved it.
Martinoli's like the
Deserved it. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Why did he punch him? Why was
because
it?
he was talking shit about
Bro, he was-
like Piojo, and it got pretty
It got
like,
pretty personal, right?
personal.
Yeah, it got
Talking about his
personal.
daughter.
like talk his daughter and
Bro,
like
se
about
merecía, güey.
yeah he started saying like some shit that
Yeah. I would have done it too.
el gol Piojo, ¿qué cabrón?
Best punches in Mexican soccer. That's one of them. Guatemala when he punched David Faitelson
Fight this one
just over the head
against
the
after Veracruz.
Yeah.
Who was it that Talavera headbutted? Who was it that
No, that was Corona.
Corona, yeah,
He
yeah,
headbutted
yeah,
one of the auxiliares from Morelia.
Yeah, that was legendary too.
Yeah, dude.
Legendary too, bro. That was legendary.
Bro,
too.
And that's the reason why he didn't start
Yes.
the 2010 World Cup.
Yeah.
Because of that, isn't it? Because by that time he was like a little bit above.
They should have took a show.
He's a high head.
Chuy Corona won the gold medal with Mexico, though.
Yeah.
Oh, he
That,
did.
Yeah.
that was a really cool moment. That was a cool
I
moment.
respect Chuy Corona a lot, and one of my favorite Chuy Corona moments is when he played with Chivas in the
against Boca in 2005.
In the Bombonera, they just called him like emergency fucking
golden
come
times
help
in
us out.
Chivas history.
Holy shit, man! I'll never forget those.
See, I'm an America fan, but whenever you had a Mexican team play in the Libertadores, I would root for them.
We almost won it.
Like say Chivas had it, and then like 2002, whenever they like Cardoso was in it against, and they lost that final, dude. That was.
We almost.
I remember America got close too a couple of times with Cabañas.
Dude, so the one in 2019, in 2000, whenever they were playing Boca in the semifinal, I almost got a chance to go to the game in Azteca, but my dad said no because we were like a week before that. It was a week before we came to the U.S.
Damn.
Oh shit.
But I was like, man, that should have been. God damn it. No, I always give my shit to my dad, like, hey, me hubiera ido al partido, pero tú dijiste que no. He's like, hey, la situación, like, hey, haz lo posible.
That's pretty cool, man.
But nah, dude, we got like some stories, dude. Like, say soccer wise, I mean,
yeah. We could talk about this all night, boys. I'm sure we can. But, I mean, I hate to keep you longer. Let's close this out. We have the MLS All-Star Team Vote. How do you guys feel about our boys? Who do you think is going to make that
yeah, Drusi and Fagu for sure.
Maybe four people.
Drusi, Fagu, and Stuber is my votes, bro.
Okay. I got, same. Drusi, Fagu. Well, who'd you say?
Stuber.
No, I don't got Stuber making it. I don't got Stuber. I don't got Stuber. I got Drusi. I got Fagu.
Gabrielson.
Yeah,
and maybe add that one. And maybe Julio.
Yeah. Maybe Julio has been pretty solid this whole season.
He's also played 100% of the minutes.
Yeah,
100%.
100% of the minutes. He's an iron horse.
I don't know.
I got Fagu.
Ring maybe Ring. Alex Ring.
Nah, dude. I got Fagu, Drusi, and Gallagher.
Redes.
All the way.
Redes all the way.
Lord Redes.
Hey, Redes, not for real, dude. If you're listening to this, hey, cabrón, ya ponte las pilas.
He's gone, bro. He's gone. He's on the other side.
He's on the other side.
He's on the other side.
He's gone.
I saw Alicia telling him. I saw Alicia telling him, hey, Rodney, no vayas a salir esta noche, eh.
Who?
Esta Alicia.
Fagu's mom. Yeah.
She was like, hey, no vayas a salir esta noche.
Yeah.
Sí, tía, no vayas a salir. Sí, cabrón.
Awkward.
El presidente de Guaraní, bro.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy situation.
Leg, bro. When Redes was sold to Austin FC, the president stole off with the money, bro.
Shit.
He almost
allegedly.
Allegedly. He pocketed the money himself, bro.
Descarado.
It's because, whenever we were starting with Austin TV, following Redes and Ceci and Johan was one of our things.
We became Guarani fans, bro.
Fans.
Because you guys got, actually, good friends with the other...
with other pages.
Yes,
that's good, man.
We were watching their league games.
We were watching their league games. We were watching their league games, their cup games, and we were following pages from Paraguay that were posting stuff about them.
Fueron a la final, bro. Guarani
they went to the final, bro.
Yeah. Who did they play the final with?
They lost in penalties.
Olympia?
Yeah. They lost in penalties. It was in Redes... Cecilio and Romagna were playing, bro, and they were in the final. Bro.
None of them shot, though.
None of them
shot PKs.
But it was such a badass game. There was red cards,
and
penalties, comeback.
Penales.
Bro,
they were up 2-0.
They were up 2-0
at the half.
They came back, bro, tied it, and they went to penalties, bro. Me, H, and the Austin team.
Olympia is known for doing that type of shit where they can win, but then they can blow out.
Things could have been different.
Bro, we had edits ready.
Yeah.
We came to my apartment. We got some beer. We watched the final. We had edits ready. We were like, let's go. We were all into the game, and we had
heartbroken, championship edits ready of them, ready, just ready to go. Because we were confident. And then we were up 2-0. We were like, fuck yeah, in the bag. Then they blew the lead, bro.
Oh fuck. Shit. Damn, that's crazy. Man.
But so, one thing about that is what we learned from the fans from Guarani was they were promised a bunch of stuff from the funds of the sale of Johan and Rodney, and they never got those promises. They were promised renovated stands,
field,
new fields, grass.
The training facility was
going to be better because they just have tents. They just have tents and plastic chairs for the players.
Bro. The president said.
Yeah, and then they put banners all over the city, and they fired the president. He's not president anymore. His name's Totia Acosta. And he's gone now.
Basi, madre.
3.75 mil
and
for
the
Redes.
president was we were DMing the president of Guarani, bro. Like he was following the DMs
What
right
the
there.
It was a troll account.
Okay,
It was a troll
but he had a lot of clout.
What was the
He had a lot of clout. It was a lot of clout.
La Verde Tóxica?
It was like 40,000 followers.
Yeah,
Like,
it was like a troll account of him.
Yeah, okay.
It was a troll account.
Crazy,
It was a troll
Allegedly.
account of him. He
Allegedly.
did have 50K
Wow.
followers.
Now you guys have followed players for a long
Yeah,
time.
for
It's just
sure,
like the
bro.
beginning. That's awesome
Yeah,
to see.
Bro, we hyped the hell out of Ronnie Redes.
Bro.
And look how he pays
Hey,
us.
not only y'all, a lot of people hyped him. There
Yeah.
were some people that were saying that he was like the
Whenever-
next,
yeah.
the next
Mbappe.
MLS team, the MLS dream dude.
Dude.
It's not happening, bro.
I remember he would like score goals and he would do this and people labeled him as the Paraguayan Mbappe because he was fast.
Bro, even
Say
at
what?
Guarani, he didn't really do much,
He
bro.
scored a goal with his back and
That's
celebrated
it, bro.
Like for like a ricochet.
Cecilio is shot it con un cañón and it hit his back and it like went over the goalkeeper.
And, like,
he
he, like,
celebrated like,
celebrated, like, let's go.
He knee slided. And
Ceci
everything.
was like, what the fuck?
What the
like,
fuck?
why was he celebrating that? It was funny, dude.
Yeah.
Good times.
It is what it is.
Glad it's over.
Yes.
Yeah, no, realistically,
2021.
realistically,
in
man, going back to the All-Star team vote, I think Drusi and Fagu are probably my only picks that I think could actually
Yeah,
get
straight
voted
up.
into it.
I agree.
I would love to see Gabrielson, Stu get the vote in, but I don't know, man. But it's cool. It's cool to see our players kind of in the mix a little bit more this season. Our coach as well. I know he's kind of convinced a lot of us this season, but I'm really looking forward to this home game against Dallas.
Yeah.
And really one of the things we wanted to touch on is just like, peace amongst the supporters from both teams. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
I know there could be a lot of banter.
So
It can get a little elevated, but hey, come on.
yeah, so La Murga, pretty much all the supporter teams are gonna have a march. And the last time it was pretty good because it was the Yamita and it was cold. So this one right here, I really didn't pay attention to the actual details of it, and I should have and brought it in. However, I just really, me working with, the supporter groups, like I really don't want an incident when there's violence, especially after what has happened in
With
Houston, what has happened also, like, not like soccer related, but what has happened just in general in life. That right now, I don't think this is the best moment to go out there and do those finance between ultras and take shit from each other. I think we should all just, we don't get along. That's cool, but keep your side. Follow whatever they tell you. Get out, and that's it. Just avoid that shit because the last thing we want is for an incident to happen for some dumb shit.
100%. I think that's the culture, the unique culture about the MLS, bro, where you can have banter, but it's like it's unique to the MLS because it's like more like a family-friendly type of vibe. It's more like that kind of stuff we kind of try to shy away from. And I feel like that's unique to the MLS, in my opinion. Because I know in Mexico, los partidos de América, los partidos de Tigres, Monterrey, sometimes kids don't even be going to the games.
Yeah.
And I feel like I think it's dope that the U.S. and the MLS are not
Family friendly.
Family friendly, which is the way to go because the way you want to grow this league is to attract the youth, bro. And if
You have to. You want the future.
And if the youth are scared to go to your games, that's not the way, bro. So I'm happy for the way the MLS is taking this. Yeah.
And there's gonna be precautions taken by this side. Hopefully, the other side is thinking the same thing. And at the end of the day, they're gonna be talk shit, but then you just go out, have fun. You win or lose. If you won, take the L, enjoy it. If you lost, just it will be another one. But yeah, man.
Yeah. Either way, stop by the Zebra Gate for a fan reaction.
Hey.
We might get some Dallas people on there, depending if they want to or not.
Yeah, we'll see.
Okay.
So let the people know for those who don't follow where they can find y'all, where they can tag along.
Yeah, We Are Austin TV at We Are Austin TV on both Twitter and Instagram, and then
TikTok
and TikTok as well. We're starting to get on the TikTok game, and then we got at Top Flight Podcast for our podcast, and on Twitter and Instagram as well.
Also, shout out to Bali, Neff,
Yeah, shout out to the team.
Shout out to those who are here. Yeah.
Luis
Fucho.
shout out Fucho.
Yeah.
How many?
Especially
How many?
Bali.
I've heard they asked this question. How many members are in the team?
Well, there's a lot of people that make the organization, you know what I'm saying? But,
So-
like, you know, members, I'd be, you know, just like people that we
7
mentioned.
of us.
Because we also have 2 photographers.
Yeah, that's
We have a guy that makes TikToks for us. You know what I'm saying? So there's many parts to this machine.
If you want to count everybody involved in somewhat of a contribution, I mean, 11, 12, maybe.
Something like that,
just,
yeah. Something like
There's
that,
like
yeah.
a core group.
Something like that. Yeah, something like that. But, like, you know, shout out to Bali, bro.
Shout out Bali.
Shout out
Bali.
to Bali, man.
Shout out because,
for
hey,
sure.
Bali could have been in jail right now, bro.
Bro, Bali's story is
And
We gotta have him here, man.
Yeah.
The next one is gonna
Yeah, bro,
be
you gotta-
Primo and Bali. We have to
Yeah,
bring
Bali,
him
Bali.
in.
Bali,
We-
Primo, Bali, Nev.
Primo Bali,
For
man.
sure.
Will be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Bali is a man. Pinche.
Bali was going down like the wrong path.
Yeah.
And the fact that Austin FC like came to his like hometown, like kind of like made him like, oh, maybe I can focus on soccer more than being out here in these like streets.
And we told him, I was like, bro, like, deja eso, like, vente con nosotros. We're Austin TV. And he's like, man, let's go in that. And it's been a big improvement, man.
Yeah, he was hanging around with the wrong kind of crowd, but Bali definitely changed, bro.
Bali's-
Maybe one day he'll come on here.
Yeah,
and
maybe we'll
tell us
let him
Dude,
know, bro.
maybe
We'll
how
let him
about
know.
August official invitation? We'll send him a date.
Yeah.
Oh,
No,
let's
it'd be
go.
great to
Bali's
have
a great
him.
guy.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be great to have him.
And players love him.
Bro,
Yeah.
Players love
I do
Bali,
see-
Bro. Yeah,
yeah.
everybody loves Bali, bro.
Hector, Danny, multiple players love him, bro. They just think he's funny. I think he's just a
He
funny
is.
guy.
Yeah, that's him, bro. That's him.
That's him. He's not putting
No,
on. Like, a
it's.
fake-
I remember like when we were going to Buc-ee's in the Houston game. When I ran into you like 3 times.
Yeah, we saw you at the gas station. I was filling up.
Every time we went to the gas station, I ran into Ryan. And I see Bali. Everybody shouting. Everybody put his headphones on. Goes to the restroom. Comes out and then starts cheering. But
Yeah, for sure.
Shout
Well, we here at
out to
Otra,
all the boys.
we here at Otra, por favor, got a lot of love for We Are Austin TV and Top
Mhm.
Flight.
Same, bro.
Appreciate you guys coming on the
Appreciate that.
pod and
Thank you for
sharing
the
your
invitation.
stories, man. Big takeaways, man, that I hear from you guys is embracing that discomfort, you know, being able to flip that switch, not being able to, you know, not being afraid to put the work in and being consistent with your content, man. And it really shows, man. And I wish you guys continued growth. And, dude, let's keep growing, baby.
Hell
Yeah.
yeah.
let's do this shit.
The
man.
That's
beautiful-
what it's about.
The beautiful thing about the community of Latinos that we have here, we support each other. So
Yeah.
any way that we can help support you guys, we're here for y'all. And I know you guys will do the same for
We
us.
got to, man. White people, Jewish people, they all stick together, bro.
Hey, ¿por qué los Latinos no?
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one thing. Like say,
Jewish people be tight.
yeah. Oh, dude.
Hell yeah.
Like my goal for this was to always bring in people that are from the community, creating shit, and also like if we ever get someone famous, that's cool, you know. But that's not my end goal. My end goal is to get someone that has built something here,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's what matters. And I think you guys have done that and more beyond the expectations of you guys. And I really hope that you guys continue to push each other and
We
Yeah,
will.
thanks,
continue
man.
to
Appreciate it.
do that
Appreciate
shit.
it, dog.
Yeah.
Without any further ado, also stay hydrated because it is hot out there.
Yeah.
It's National Hydration Day too.
What?
We're doing our part. There we go. We're doing our part.
Saludos.
Mine's over here.
Salud,
Mine's over here.
salud, salud,
Salud, salud.
Salud. Let me keep going. Salud.
And then, thank you for listening. This has been another episode. Nos siguen en cualquier plataforma que estamos, en Facebook, Instagram y Twitter. Otra, por favor. Se cuidan, se porta bien. Adiós y chao.
Ciao.